Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Ahoy and well met, or something. It is Saturday, November the 15th, 2025. We're gathered here for some more, Kathy Rain. Ooh, motorcycle noises, and rain, and silence. If you know, you know. If you stay on the screen, it goes from, like, rock and anthem to just motorcycle noises. The music loop is, I comment on it a lot. Yeah, so I got two things to discuss. You want the stupid one, or you want the fun one that's also stupid that was implied someone had interest in it yesterday? Psycho says, I'm inexplicably hungry even though I had a big sandwich from Potbelly's and the entire milkshake. That's just because you're a growing boy, Zacula. Stupid first. Okay, great. Let's talk about taxes. I had an exceptionally stupid experience over the past like 2 months. So, taxes. I know, you said you wanted the stupid one. So I'm gonna give you the short version because the long version isn't that interesting, and I don't know, I might risk like doxing myself for some stupid thing. Taxes already. Actually, quite the opposite mystery. Taxes so far after the fact. So I've joked in the past about how I make roughly enough money from the generosity of viewers like you to, quote, complicate my taxes, which is a thing that I think is like a relatively fair assessment. Also, thank you for the 500 bits, Demolition. I have to implore everyone to go on a tax strike. Boy, if we could organize that to like a legitimate degree, I would co-sign that. We're just in such a state here in 2025. I hope that I genuinely hope that some person someday is watching my Kathy Rain 2 VODs and watches this and has like no idea what that means. Not only because it will mean that for some idiot reason my Twitch and YouTube presence has endured long enough for like new people to find it in the future, but also that it implies a better world. But so a few months ago in September, there was a week where I had actually talked about on stream where like a bunch of crap was going wrong, where like I had to reschedule an appointment with the water purifier people to do some like routine maintenance on that. And what was the other thing going on at that point? There's so many like things to do this year. God almighty. Anyway, there were like a bunch of appointments going on, and then like the Monday of that week in the mail, I got a letter from the city of Los Angeles. Now, those of you who've been watching the stream for a while will be aware that I lived in North Hollywood, in the greater Los Angeles area, for over a decade, and was streaming from my apartment there. And I moved to Florida last year, like just over a year ago, a little over a year ago, as of today and this recording. So like I really didn't know what that was going to be about. Those who've been watching the channel also know that I went through like oh, that's right, the air conditioning maintenance, that's what it was. Thank you. My mom is always present for all the worst stuff going on in my life in Florida. God bless her. So I get this letter in the mail, and I'm like, well, I know it's not the car registration because we worked through that for so many months in 2024, and there's no viable reason for that to be true. And it wasn't. What it was like some declaration from the city of Los Angeles saying that like, hey, in 2022, you filed on your federal taxes that like you made money from Twitch, which we consider like operating a business in the confines of the city of Los Angeles. And as a result, like, we think that we may need to tax you more because you don't have like a business certificate on file with us. Now, I'm a humble country idiot or something, and in all of my research on how to do taxes in the situation I was in, this never came up. This is not a thing that I had been very diligent about like filing my federal taxes, and I like came across nothing that said like if you make like an almost negligible amount of money, you have to like get a business certificate with the city of Los Angeles. I The impression I get is that this may be something about the strictness, the stringentness of California and its laws and whatnot. But so like I tried to get someone on the phone and like learn more about this. And the person I connected to just sucked. He was just like this like doomsayer who just like assumed I was trying to like game the system and like wouldn't provide any like good faith information or anything, and was just like you just file like this paperwork. So I go to incredible lengths to like verify that like all this information that I have to put together from like 6 years of taxes or something is all accurate so that I can send that off to them. And one thing I want to stress, one thing that really bothered me about all this is that they were very specific in the letter that they sent, that their issue was that I filed information in 2022 about this. But I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that the first time that I like actually like provided detailed information about Twitch taxes was 2019, because you do it for like the year previous. So like it's not even just the fact that they were like it's not the fact that they were upset about something that I, not a tax expert, like hadn't magically understood without any reasonable resource that would tell me this. And it's I mean, like, why so soon? You know, like, why is it that, like, in 2025, they're upset about 2022 and didn't say anything for 2019 or 2020 or 2021? What's going on? Like, I don't understand, like, what triggered it or, like, why or, like, any of it. So, like, yeah, like I can't stress enough that like I've gone to like such incredible lengths to just like share this information with the government on my taxes and be as like clear and accurate as possible. Like I don't think I make enough money that I'm likely to realistically be audited, but like I keep track of stuff to it like as if I was going to. But like it bothered me because I've like put in all of this work, and like it seemed like a bad faith take on their part to just suddenly be like, we just suddenly are mad about something that's like from years ago and not even like the first time it would have come up. And so I go ahead and compile the information for their stupid idiot form, and I send it, and it takes like ages. It takes like a whole month or something. Like they give me like 10 days to like send them the form, and I like send it back to them, and then like a month passes, and then I just get like a form email of sorts that was like, okay, so we like processed your form, and like attached is your Los Angeles like business certificate, which is dumb because like I don't live in California anymore, and like the whole timing of this is so stupid. But they're like, here you go, here's your like city of Los Angeles business certificate. And so like now I've got that, which like applies until the end of this year, I guess, or something. And like there's this ominous like subtext to the message where they're like, I forget exactly what the wording was, but it said something like we have found that you have like additional liability or something. And like that's like annoying enough because it's like ominous and threatening and all of that. And so part of the form letter is like, but like you have to wait like 4 to 6 weeks or something to receive this to receive information on this. If you want that information sooner, create like a new email thread with the Los Angeles, like with the City of Los Angeles business office or whatever, and like ask us about it separately. And I'm like, I don't want to wait like 4 to 6 weeks to figure out what like additional liability is. That's insanely frustrating. So like I immediately make a new thread and I'm like, hey, so I received an email that said, quote, this, and said that if I wanted to learn more, the fastest way to do it would be to contact you at this email address saying that I wanted more information. Can you please elaborate? And like another like 3.5 weeks pass or something. And like 2 days ago, I get an email response to that. And they're, you know, like, oh, thank you for writing. It was determined that like, this is not enough money for us to care. I believe it literally said, if you would like, you can mail a check for $1.29 to the City of Los Angeles and include a copy of this email. And I'm like, what are you all like? Like, what? How do you operate? Like, what? All of this trouble over, like, money that I have reported for years. They suddenly get, like, big mad. They, like, send me these, like, threatening letters. And then, like, I just, like, send them paperwork that really just reiterates what was already in, like, 5 or 6 years of tax returns. And they, like, review it for, like, 7 weeks. And they're like, I don't know, like, if you wanted, you could send us $1.29 by check in the mail, as long as you send us a copy of the email to remind us why you would want to send us $1.29. I mean, not only does it cost them more in man hours to process a case like this, it would cost me more in shipping to like mail them the check. Like the check itself probably costs more than $1.29. Like the whole thing is like so maddening. I'm just like, I'm glad it seems to be resolved in such a profoundly pointless way, but at the same time it's like, you could have just like not chosen violence. Like this has been like stressing me out low-key in the background, and I didn't want to bring it up because like I just wasn't sure that like it wasn't gonna be some like insane huge problem like the car registration. And to answer Zakula's question earlier, I've been through this story extensively, and you can if you ask me on the Discord, I think I have like a secret playlist that just has a VOD that talks about at length what happened with the car registration last year. But like the short version is that I moved from California to Florida in the same year that I finished paying off the car that I own now, but the loan company that I like used to buy the car like messed up their paperwork and didn't take the lien off my car, so I couldn't take any of the normal means to like simply like register my car in a new state. I had to like remotely from 3,000 miles away resolve the lien on my car, and like the company at fault for that just like would do basically nothing to help me out with that. And like I ended up having to like shout at them and the California DMV repeatedly, because the California DMV like refused to acknowledge that like their system like wouldn't handle a case like this. Like they would just say stupid stuff like, just go into an office. I'm like, my brother in faith, that's 3,000 miles away on the earth as the crow flies. Like, you all figure this crap out. Like, this is your problem. And it took like months and months and months, and I had to keep calling, and it sucked, and it was horrible. And like, it reached this insane point where like, even like the people at the DMV were like, I can't stress enough how important it is that you like filed this paperwork correctly, because this can and will like be a problem. Even though it was like their problem, they're like, this will just like keep going and get worse. But like also at the same time, like they were sending me like form letters that were like threatening me. They're like, hey, your car registration is gonna like void out. And I'm like, well, yeah, but also I don't live in California, so that's not the problem. I've received the stir the pot emote. That feels appropriate. Thank you to Katsuyan and Demolition for dueling generosity, demolition for bits, and I think that was 20 gift subs, and then just for the rub-ins to the Los Angeles city business office or whatever the crap it's called, an amount of bits equaling the idiot amount of money that they suggested that I maybe send them if I wanted to. Psycho asks, why does everything happen to you, dude? Things I've literally never heard happening to anyone, they all happen to you. Well, I would say that the majority of them do, but I've learned that there is a class of human being that shares this fate. I don't know what we're called, but so far I know 3 of us, personally. One is me, one is my sister. You can hear some of her stories on her own live streams. And one is my friend from college, Jess. Boy, she is a poor, unfortunate soul. I think her life has evened out quite a bit since college. But, like, in college, she was just, like, most likely to have, like, confusing, disastrous things happen to her. There was, like, a period of a week where she got mugged twice. Like, a tiny college girl. It was horrible. Like nothing, like, she didn't, like, get hurt. I don't even know that she necessarily, like, lost much of value in the back-to-back, like, horrible situation. But, like, boy, oh boy, should that not have to happen to a person. But, like, the running joke that my friends, and particularly I, had with her after a certain point of hearing, like, several of the stories was just, like, we'd be in the middle of a conversation and I would just stop and I would turn to her and I'd be like, Jess, I need you to remember something. Don't die. Just please don't die. Just above all else, don't die. Just be conscious of it. Be focused on it. Don't die. Also, thank you for 886 bits to cover the postage, which, yeah, again, I feel like the postage for their absolutely imbecilic suggestion outweighs the amount. Like, just, I mean, can we all agree that that situation is just so stupid? Like, so much stress on everyone's part for just nothing, man. It's true, she did, like, Jess was, like, going to school to be, like, basically, like, an English major at my, like, art school that I went to. And she, like, became a lawyer, and she, like, got married to a guy who seemed super nice. Yeah, like, from what I can tell, she's doing a lot better for herself. But, like, man, she went through a lot. I don't know if she still experiences those things on and off, or if I just don't hear about them as often, because I don't really spend time on Facebook. But that's possible. Yeah, but, like, my sister also experiences these things. In recent years, she's invited a certain amount of chaos into her life by, like, changing life circumstances that in a way that I think makes these sorts of things more likely to happen to her. So I feel like she experienced a ramping up of these situations and has the catchphrase, never always happens, which is, and this happens to me as well, as Acula said, like, these are problems that, like, no human being has ever heard of happening, and they, like, happen to people like us. And a thing that we'll often hear from those people, and this is something that, for example, the plumbers who caved in the ceiling of my kitchen said, was like, this has never happened. And it's like, you know what actually isn't reassuring to hear at all? Is that this never happens, and that, like, you're the only person who's experienced this misfortune, and that, like, almost invariably as a result, the people whose job it is to, like, resolve the crisis have no idea what to do. So yeah, that was something that I wanted to share. Just another one of the long line of stupid things to deal with. The fun stupid thing is a lot shorter, I think, which is that Demolition had yesterday asked for some holiday movie suggestions from the Hallmark catalog. And when I was doing a bit of a debrief with my mom today, we watched several last weekend. And she mentioned a name that I'd already sort of blacked out, which was, I want to tell you about what's probably the worst Hallmark movie of the year so far. There's still time. And as I said yesterday, the trend has been for these movies to go much more to the extremes than to the center. Whereas for a long time, the standard of like holiday TV movie was like generic. It's the thing that people still meme about, that like they're all about the big city girl who moves back to her hometown or goes there for Christmas and then like realizes that her high stress, high paying job isn't fulfilling, and instead that she should have a romance with the guy who chops wood for a living and wears only plaid. And then she should embrace Christmas in her heart 365 days per year. The reality of this is that's like not even really what the median Christmas movie is like these days. Those still happen, but like they've made enough of them that like basically every channel that continues to make these every holiday season has strayed largely away from them. And even though they're still doing somewhat formulaic romantic comedy structures, they don't lean very heavily on those tried and true tropes for the most part. Again, not saying that they never do them, but like there truly was a time when like if they were going to release like 20 in a year, then like 16 of them would easily have like these like data points for sure. So in this era of the extremification of these taking bigger swings and being either better or worse, let me tell you about I think it is, let me bring up the spreadsheet on my phone. It's on Google Sheets, so I can access it here and not just on my iPad where I was making most of my notes. The one in particular, it's called A Christmas Angel Match. It's real bad. So A Christmas Angel Match is a high concept fantasy sort of concept for a holiday movie. The idea is that there are angels. I want to say they're in heaven, but we'll get to why that's such a hard statement to make. So there are angels whose purpose is to matchmake mortals on Earth. They establish that there are like Cupid, Valentine's Day angels, and I think they mentioned offhandedly like some other like subgenre of like matchmaking cherub entity. But like the big game in town is Christmas matchmaking. And so the angels at Christmas are like assigned couples on Earth to get together in the spirit of Christmas, yada, yada, yada. You know where this is going. But this movie, there's so many things wrong with this movie. For one, it spends almost no time characterizing the human couple that the angels are supposed to get together. So you don't really get much about them as individuals. You don't really know why it would be good for them to get together, why that would be assigned. There's so many confusing elements of the world building. The world building is genuinely horrendous. So like let me tell you one of my least favorite, most concerning facts that is established in the canon of an angel, like an angel. I don't even remember what it's. I just looked it up. Matchmaking Angel Christmas. Very early in the movie, they establish that there is a threat of downsizing in heaven, and for so many reasons, that's like the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it implies that like heaven operates on a corporate structure and that like bad things happen to you if you're not successful in your afterlife job, or that even just like the whims of corporations on Earth, you could just be downsized and lose your job for no fault of your own. And then like, what does it mean to be laid off from heaven? It's like, it is an existential nightmare, the likes of which I did not expect a Hallmark Christmas movie to even hint at. Is genuinely scarier than like a plurality of horror movies I've seen in my life. My God. Like, I just hate that so much. And like, you know, answering questions like, is that God's will? Or like, can he do, like, we will never address these things. What we will do is, let me talk a little bit about the structure of the movie. So, you know, a traditional romantic story has a 3-act structure, and it's sort of like, you know, traditionally it is described as boy meets girl, boy loses girl, like boy gets girl again in the end, or something like that. And so like the traditional thing is sort of like there's a romance, they get together, then some complication, whether like real, imagined, will cause like a temporary fracturing of the romance, but in the end they'll get back together. Because this movie just really doesn't care at all about ostensibly its central characters of the humans that should get together on Earth. Like the whole point, like, it's very heavily implied that the 2 angels assigned to do this matchmaking job, and they're like, oh, it's highly irregular that 2 angels would have to work on the same job, but like, whatever, BS. There's some reason you guys have to do it together. It's a directive from on high. They don't say God because it's not Great American Family, who would definitely say God. And they would like name drop Jesus Christ like 12 times in a movie for like no particular reason other than they're trying to separate themselves from Hallmark. But so like they assign 2 angels to do the same matchmaking job, and it's very clear very early on that like they are also their own romantic leads. So like there are 2 levels of romance: the angels, who are matchmaking people. The people are meant together to get together. The angels are meant to get together. And so so much of the movie's runtime, like a staggering percentage of the movie's runtime, is the angels like haplessly watching the humans. Like not there's this whole confusing thing where like the angels make it clear that they don't understand what it's like to be mortal, but they don't definitively state one way or the other if these angels are derived from people who like died on Earth and like became like heavenly figures. And like at first I had a natural assumption that was true, but then like one of them got like mad at the other one for like enjoying a hot chocolate because angels don't do that. And it's like against da rules, you know, like not literally da rules, but like, you know, Fairly Odd Parents, when like they have to cite some like magical reason why they can or can't do something, and it's in like a cartoon book called Da Rules of what the fairy godparents can do. Like they basically have like an idiot angel movie equivalent of that they call Hark. And so like one of them gets all mad that the other one like drinks hot chocolate, but like also longs to slow dance. And it's like there's just so many like logical inconsistencies about like what the angels like do and don't know, and what they have and haven't experienced, what it means to be an angel, what it means to be downsized from heaven. For some reason, heaven like makes allusions to like modern day technology, so they clearly understand things like apps and whatever. But then like in addition to that, in heaven they operate off of like rotary phones and old-timey filing systems and like an old-timey like movie projector. And so like again, this raises these like logistical questions that like hound me for the whole movie. I'm like, what is with these incongruous old-timey technologies? If these people didn't live on Earth, if they just spawned as angels from whole cloth, why use any Earth technology? Why not just use angel magic to like make images appear for your like weird corporate meeting? Why do we have a corporate structure? So many questions. Like normally these questions can be glazed over, you know, like because you just sort of like have a scene with some jokes in it and you're not meant to think about it too hard, and the pace of the movie rolls you right past these problems. But the pace of this movie sucks eggs. And as a result, like you linger on these things. Like someone booked the concept of clouds to do angelic yoga, and there's only one spot in all of the clouds that anyone can relax right now. There's only one meeting room in heaven, and it's all of the clouds that exist. I don't understand any of this, but we stay on that scene for a really long time. But so like, again, the focus of the movie is ostensibly getting this couple of Earth people together. And frankly, they're the blandest, most boring people you can conceive of. It's just like a kind of dorky guy and a girl who accidentally owns a dog. I'm not even gonna bother telling you that part of the movie. That's too much detail, and you'll lose brain cells over it. But I'll hasten to summarize this. So like, so much of the movie is just them watching the humans and trying to understand how is it we can get these humans together. And I will point out again that this is professionally what these corporate angels do. It's their whole purpose. It's like literally the only thing that they do forever and ever is to matchmake people like once a year at Christmas. The younger of the two is said to have been doing it for 90 human years. Again, we could raise logistical questions of like what it means, like what the concept of time in heaven means, and what's the difference between doing it for 90 years and for doing it for like 400 years, like the other woman is. But so like, it's the only thing they do all the time ever. It's all they're interested in. It's their entire personality. And they like can't figure out how to get these two people together. And like 25 minutes into the movie, we have established that one of these individuals is a guy who was adopted by an elderly woman in his youth and raised by her instead of his birth parents. And she is in like a retirement home. And the woman has a grandfather who's like on the verge of retiring and needing additional care. Right? So like, the dumbest human being you've ever met understands that the meet cute is like, get the lady to take her grandfather to the same retirement home, and then they will meet, and then they will kiss. And like 25 minutes into the movie, I'm like, oh, got it. So like, that's where it starts. This event that I've described to you of these two elderly people who are parental figures for the two leads meeting and thus allowing the main romantic leads to connect does not occur until like 15 minutes before the end of the movie. It's established like less than a third of the actual runtime into the movie and doesn't happen until like basically before the epilogue happens. And the most frustrating thing of this entire story is that when this happens, the angels, whose whole job it has been to get them together, did nothing. Like, it's not even that they finally figured it out. It's that it was basically inevitable that in this community, when that grandfather figure retired, that he was going to go to this facility. And so it just sort of happened as a matter of chance. And then they just met cute and happily ever after. But when that occurs, the angels are like, we did it! Hooray! And then they like meet with their boss and he's like, you did it! We can't believe it! You did such a great job! And also, I'm gonna level with you. I don't actually care what happened to those people. The true point of all of this is that I was supposed to get you together. Which, like, again, it was pretty obvious that the two angels were going to get together. We didn't actually mention, believe it or not, the angel rules, Hark, didn't mention at any point in the movie that it was against code for angels to date each other. It's not even stated whether that's a thing that does or does not normally happen. But, like, this guy was just sort of like, some mysterious force told me that you guys had to get together. And now, instead of being matchmaking angels, you can do what you were meant to do, which is be married. And like, I lost my mind because as I stated to you at the start of this rant, we've actually moved away as a genre convention. We do very few movies where the woman gives up her job for romance. Like, there are enough, like, strong independent women who still value Hallmark as a brand that they've sort of realized, like, there's like a schmaltiness to that some people like, and some people really do not like that. And so we don't do it very often. And so The fact that like we took this horrible movie with awful world building, terrible characters, awful writing, just absolutely slow-paced garbage plot, like everything about this movie is wrong and bad and a waste of time. And then as a Hail Mary at the 11th hour, they're like, and why don't we do a gross kick in the nards to feminism? Like, let's just make it clear that this woman for like 400 years, who's like whole raison d'etre, reason to exist in this weird corporate afterlife, is to like bring joy to people by giving them romantic connections on Earth at Christmas time, will no longer do that and instead will make kissy faces with this moron 90-year-old angel. It is genuinely in the contention for one of the worst Hallmark movies I've ever seen. And it's genuinely worse than like some of the bad movies I've watched for the purpose of like making fun of them, the like so bad they're good. Like, this is not a hate watch movie. Like, there are movies where I'm like, this is so dumb, like you might really like watching this. This movie is so horrible, don't watch it. Don't watch it. This is why God is firing people. There are bigger things at work here. I mean, I'm so confused about the motivation of like everything, man. Like, it's so bad. There have been some other bad ones this year, and there have been some awful ones in the past. But this really takes the cake. Speaking of desserts, I saw the Cotillion got Blizzard again. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, classic. You can't go wrong with that. I did get Dairy Queen with my mom today. Zacula will be concerned. And I tried a Blizzard I hadn't tried before, which is the Mint Oreo, which, if you happen to have a local Dairy Queen that's not doing the peppermint bark, is a similar overall experience. They both give you similar pleasant benefits, but one is more if you like chocolate, and the other is more if you like mint. You got Dairy Queen last night. Did you get... I hope you got some kind of dessert, Sarah. They hate their audience, clearly. I don't know, man. I don't know. Man, let me say this. Hallmark has gotten some backlash in the past for a relative lack of diversity in their casts, and I'm not gonna say that they've like solved that problem. They've definitely made some strides towards improving it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like there are precious few like Hallmark movies with black lead actors that aren't just like the absolute worst script they have available. Like they do about like 1 point something of those per year. Like clearly there are black people who watch those movies who are interested in seeing representation of themselves. But like those are categorically just some of the laziest, cheapest produced movies. It genuinely kind of offends me, man. As like the whitest, like blankety blankest guy who's got no like skin in the game, like I genuinely feel like secondhand embarrassment about what they do with those. There was one from like 2 or 3 years ago that was like as far as I can remember, it was like their first legitimate take at like a Kwanzaa movie, and it absolutely sucked. It was so bad. Like, honestly, in terms of recommendation, I'd probably put it even lower than Matchmaking Angels. Mostly just because, like, if you really wanted to try and, like, have fun dissecting the nonsense structure of every part of the Matchmaking Angel movie, there is, like, you can have some fun doing that. But, like, oh my god, like, just nothing of interest happened in the Kwanzaa movie. It just happens. We got the brownie extreme. You know, I saw that on the menu today. I didn't remember noticing it before. That's on the short list of things to try in the future. My general go-to is just get like a medium sundae, and I get like 2 toppings on. I just get like chocolate syrup and peanut butter topping, and I always have a good time with that. It's a very reliable one. But lately, I've been into trying like Blizzard archetypes I have not done before. But like, yeah. So like, you know, these are some of the, we're talking about some all-timer bad Hallmark movies. There are a lot of good ones. The thing that I really appreciate about the Hallmark movie holiday movie slate is like it is such a litmus test for production quality. It's so interesting to me year after year to see, like, if we're being realistic, like I'm not sure that I'm necessarily a proponent of the really cynical saying that like every idea has been done and there's no original thought and all of that. Like I get where that argument comes from, but like there's so many ways to make ideas novel and make them resonant. Like there's so much creativity that still exists in the world. But like in terms of like romantic movie plots, especially if you're going to like release them on like a relatively large scale every year, there's only like a handful of core plots that you're like rearranging the elements of, right? For the sake of argument, we'll say there's like 10 of them, but even that might be generous. But like you take the same 10 like core movie plots and you release like nearly 40 movies a year, and then you just look at the quality of the script, the acting, the chemistry, the production values, and it's just so interesting to see what every person does when given this opportunity. I mean, I would say that like if you are open-minded to the concept of enjoying a romantic Christmas movie, the average Hallmark movie is at least an entertaining like 90 minutes plus commercials experience. But like I would genuinely say on average like the ranking is like better than like average movie I would find somewhere else, you know? And that's some level of cynicism about what Hollywood is doing these days, but yeah. Sarah says, I usually get one of the specialty blizzards, but I hate peppermint bark. Wasn't feeling sugar cookie at the... Wait, Sarah's blown my mind. Your location has both? I've been trying to figure out how this works. Because, like, there's some weird subtext to how Dairy Queen operates its seasonal menu that I can't wrap my head around. It's not explicitly stated anywhere. Not anywhere that I've found it. Where they have something that's called, like, the Blizzard of the Month. And then they have something that's, like seasonal menu. And, like, mine has alternated both. There was a time they had that I had seen advertised a really good Blizzard of the Month that I wanted, that my location didn't do. And now, this month, my location is doing the Blizzard of the Month, which is peppermint bark, but it's not doing the sugar cookie. Katane says both. So, like, I know that there is a distinction. There's like a... I don't know what you would call them, but there's like a... I think the one near me is like a franchise location, and there's like maybe it's like a chain location or something. So, like, maybe the chain locations being, like, closer to the corporate structure or something can get both. But, like, the one near me does this weird thing where it, like, alternates them. So does that mean that you also have, like, the candy cane one? It's weird to me that, like, if places get both, it actually strikes me as weird that there's peppermint bark and candy cane in the same month. That feels somewhat redundant. It's definitely not exactly the same thing, but it does feel redundant to me. It doesn't have the candy... Oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind trying to comprehend Sarah's particular Dairy Queen. How does that... How... I don't understand that at all. I gotta do some more research. I would love to be sponsored by Dairy Queen. I have no idea. I don't think Dairy Queen does that. I don't think Dairy Queen pays people who optimistically get like 12 views a stream to endorse them, but like I'll chill that hard. No, mine only has peppermint bark, but from what I've seen, and like maybe I haven't looked into this closely enough, I've seen the sugar cookie advertised like side by side with the candy cane in like every promotional image I've seen for them online. So, like, my assumption is that that was, like, the monthly menu. Like, last month, we had the equivalent of that for October, which had pumpkin pie and some sort of cinnamon cookie thing that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. but like we didn't have whatever the explicit like blizzard of the month was. So like my location's like just freestyle, and I don't know what they're doing. Okay, I've been talking for a really long time about some nonsense. The Biscoff cookie. Wait, no, I think the Biscoff cookie was the monthly one. I think that was the blizzard of the month, because the one we had wasn't specifically Biscoff, but it had similar elements to it. Don't see candy cane on the menu online, but like when you do a search, do you see that photo that I keep seeing that has like the image of the frosted sugar cookie and candy cane side by side? Because like my location doesn't have it. I haven't looked that closely at it, but like when I did like a quick search to look at this, because like I think Keen was talking about it on the Discord today. That's the thing I keep seeing about it, is that it's true, the prices at Dairy Queen are ridiculously affordable, which in this economy I value, especially when I has dessert. Okay, I've been talking for a really long time. This? No, not that one in particular, but that's interesting. That shows eggnog shake that I don't think I've seen or heard anything about. Why is frosted sugar cookie not listed as new? It certainly hasn't been around, not as far as I could tell. Sarah had the eggnog shake. I feel like Sarah lives at the Dairy Queen test kitchen or something. Anyway, we can and probably will talk about Dairy Queen all day, but what we can also do is play Kathy Rain 2. Now I know I just brought the audio back in, but I'm getting rid of it because I'm going to do a recap now. These are someone asked earlier if we were going to finish this game tonight, and one of the reasons I was like, I don't know, is because I was going to talk about all that. So Kathy Rain 2. This is a really uneven game in many respects. Its pacing is weird. Its puzzles are a little all over the place in terms of difficulty and investment. That kind of makes sense. Candy Cane Chill is a December blizzard of the month. So then that would replace the peppermint bark. But why can't we have the sugar cookie? And why is it not consistent that if the sugar cookie is not considered the specific blizzard of the month, that we've missed out on blizzards of the month in the past? It would make sense to me if we just never got blizzard of the month, but always got the alternative, but I don't know why it's like this. It's also apparently a new Oreo versus Reese's blizzard that wasn't advertised. Is that because like Oreo and Reese's are doing some like cross promotional stuff, just like like they've been advertising these for like months now. They have like Oreo flavored Reese's cups and Reese's flavored Oreos, and like frankly neither of those sound like amazing to me, and I've heard they're both kind of okay. Don't thank you for 7 gift subs to round up to Leap. That's very good. Okay, what is this Dairy Queen page? This feels comprehensive, but is definitely not representative of all stores. This is a mystery that's not going to be solved live on stream. That's the current menu, but it doesn't solve the, like, I acknowledge that these are options that exist in the current now. But it doesn't solve the mystery, and the mystery is important. So, it just came out today. Their release schedule is so weird. There was like some blizzard that like started on like October 6th, but then they did their next blizzard turnover on like October like 26th. I don't know, it was super weird. So Kathy Rain, for real, the recap. The next person who tries to derail me with talk about Dairy Queen is going to be timed out. So, Kathy Ray, we have been trying to solve the mystery of the Soothsayer killer. We have had quite a lot of leads to follow, and frankly, they have been largely unhelpful. Like, I'm mystified by the concept that, like, we spent so much time on day one of the game trying to, like, populate a list of all the victims of the Soothsayer killer. And, like, so little of that information is particularly relevant to the plot. Like, some information from each one of those victims has been important. But, like, the way the game is structured, we had to do so much to get that list of names. And then, like, every time we meet a person, we ask them about, like, Soothsayer victims and what they know. And they're basically like, I just know what I read in the newspaper because it's 1998 and we still do that sort of thing. And so, you know, like, the fact that, like, we haven't actually ended up following very many leads that were, like, relevant to these victims, not like none, but it's not like we have been exploring these things and figuring out the connections and, like, meeting people who are close to them. Like, there's been a little of that, but not a lot of that. Instead, the game keeps, like, sending us on these wild goose chase tangents to, like, figure out the name of the woman with scars on her face, and then, like, you know, take a photo of yourself in green light, and my name is a room, which, again, is debatable, but we won't relitigate that. But so we spent, like, most of yesterday's in-game day determining who the one unidentified victim of the Soothsayer was, a woman who had been burned to death under mysterious circumstances and, like, didn't have dental records and, like, because of the burns couldn't be identified. So we now know her to be Andrea Hall, and she was actually working together with the ominous two pyre dealers to set up, like, a secret base for them in the mountains and do something to, like, make their production of that illegal street drug more efficient, until her, like, 3 text document diary that we had to, like, hack off of her computer in a cartoonish fashion. Yeah, exactly. Hall, not a room. I know what they were going for, and I know by Blueprints rules it's a room, but, like, Hall is kind of the absence of room. It's kind of like saying that, like, your veins are an organ. It's like, it's an important part of your body, but, like, it's not really how we think of organs or whatever. But again, I digress. So we learned that there is a secret base in the mountains. We have a map that we can probably cross-reference with something that we've encountered in the past, but weren't able to access before the end of yesterday's in-game day, that will lead us to that base. We also have acquired the loaded gun of our previous partner in private investigation, which means some bad stuff might happen as we approach the end of the game. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what kind of resolution I'm expecting from this game at this point in my life, but, like, I don't think it's going to tie together in a super satisfying way. For the main reasons that, like, we've put in a lot of detective work, but it doesn't feel to me like it's built to anything. Like, the people that we understand to be at fault for all of these events, I mean, maybe it's partially because it's not, like, an intentional, like, serial killer, but it's implied to be more of this, like, ambiguous, like, occult nonsense that, like, on some level it's like, what's the point of following all these clues? But also, like, there's this whole weird angle that the game tried to introduce yesterday where, like, there was, like, a pseudo villain in the first Kathy Rain game, Mr. Crimson, who was like largely at fault for the bad things happening to Kathy. He like lured her into the weird pit with all the strange plants around it that make you hallucinate, made her face like the evil versions of herself and her parents to like diffuse her psyche or whatever. And then she like burned the field and we lived happily for 3 years, except we didn't spend every day returning home to Eileen and kissing on the couch, which just seems like an absolute waste of all that time. But like then like there was this like mysterious interesting figure, Tom Ward, who was like, I know things about like the mysterious cult stuff, like you should work with me, but like I can't divulge more. And we basically told him to get bent, and then like he helped us get out of like a Wile E. Coyote trap, and then we were like, wait a minute, you're the villain from the first game, even though there's like no like evidence that suggests that at all. And like we're like the game just acts as though we should take that at face value, like that's like so obvious and so completely confirmed. And like to me it's like that's baffling. Like nothing really set that up at all. And like I think it does a disservice to both the character of Mr. Crimson as he was established in the first game, and the character of Tom Ward as he's established in the second game, to like weirdly conflate the two. Like it somehow shrinks like some of the most interesting stuff in both games down to like one character who like no longer makes any sense internally. So like I wouldn't say that like day 5 was a particularly strong note for Kathy Rain 2, which I think is why I'm a little bit extra hesitant going into this day to expect good things from the resolution of this game. But also just like, I mean, I would say that day 4 and what happened to Lucas is something of a legitimate escalation of stakes. And they tried to do that by having Kathy have the head injury and the pills, but like it didn't really amount to anything the next day. So like, I don't know. It's just like, I guess the thing that I would say as my scathing endorsement of 2 properties is that like I would legitimately say that like Heavy Rain probably has a better sense of building action and investigating the mystery, which I hasten to say is not genuinely an accomplishment. Like Heavy Rain's investigation is pretty bad. Like everything is like purposefully disjointed in case like characters randomly die off in the middle of the run. So like they don't build particularly well either, but at least the sense of tension with the Heavy Rain and the clock of what's going to happen to Sean Mars like makes it seem like everything you're doing is important. Like we don't even specifically know that the killers are going to kill again, because we don't know their motive, because our investigation has led us to nothing. So I guess all of that to say I'm a little frustrated. Let's play Kathy Rain 2. So Eileen is staying in our apartment but didn't stay in our bed. Again, really confused. Not sure why. Good news, your head injury isn't really that serious in terms of consequences. I mean, I am sure that at some point I'm going to need to use the pills item for something. But like the fact that they were like, oh my god, like you got a concussion. It's very dangerous. Be very careful. You take these pills if you get a headache or whatever. And like, we had 2 headaches yesterday. They were almost immediately back to back. One of them led to us having a hallucination about like Mr. Burgundy, who I'm no longer sure whether he's supposed to be a distinct character from Mr. Crimson because they did such a confusing job of that alleged reveal. And then like immediately after we had the conversation where we declared that Tom Ward was Mr. Crimson, and then he just like buggered off and we were like, oh, like I'm having a headache. And then like the screen faded like 98% to white, and then we didn't take the pills and she was like, I feel better now. Hi, Eileen.
Hey, sleep well?
Nope, but that's par for the course. You know that.
Yeah, I suppose I do. So what's on the agenda for today?
That sounds more like Eileen. But also, it does kind of sound like the voice actress who voices Eileen, like, had a cold for the entire runtime of this game.
Tabitha Caldwell, first of all. She knows more than she's letting on, or she wouldn't be in the contacts of that cell phone.
Right. Just don't underestimate her.
I have a gun and a stun gun.
And then there's Engstrom's, right?
Yeah. Somebody called Faith Cyrene from that place and made her throw a tantrum all up in Eric's face.
Usually when one throws up, they don't throw all up. Then you'd lose all your organs.
That was an odd one.
Yup, that happened.
Anyway, if you need some help, remember I'm only a phone call away. Plenty of minutes left on that cell phone, so you can reach me from almost anywhere.
Ah, that's convenient. Pocket phones, huh? What's next? Robot cats? Oh, I would never.
Do not
You're the
want.
best girl.
You two are just adorable.
Oh, quiet you. What's E gonna entertain herself with then?
Victor Kopernik, I think.
Yeah, sure that guy's a fucking hoot.
Oh, you know what I mean, silly. Research. And maybe I can dig up what he tried to hide with that name change.
They make such a big deal out of this. You know who the voice actor is? I don't. I haven't specifically looked it up. Doesn't sound super familiar to me other than the presence in the first game. But to be honest, it feels to me like the voice direction for her character in particular feels very different. Like, I think the idea is that they wanted Eileen in Kathy Rain 2 to sound like jaded because of what transpired between her and Kathy off screen between the two games. But like, there are genuinely, I think, multiple issues with that, and I'm saying that not just as an obvious Eileen simp, but like, I genuinely made a point when playing the first game of saying that I thought one of the strongest things about that game was the characters and the way that their relationships came across, and by like immediately having that be like an issue of tension in the second game, like I feel like it's been a genuinely significant detriment to this game, because like the last game was not like the pinnacle of like puzzle making, and the story's like good but probably not great, but like overall I thought it was a good experience, and I think it was carried by like the portrayal of the characters and their relationships. So then like immediately trying to isolate Kathy as much as possible, like I think really sucked.
Not a bad plan. Let's get to it and touch base tonight.
Okie dokie.
Scribble, 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 scribble. Eileen Vega did a character in Lamplight City. Can you name any of them? I don't have a message on the answering machine.
When there's new messages, it blinks. It's high-tech like that. I don't want to take her picture. Looks like Cooper has drawn a map here. A path through some kind of tunnels.
Miriam Harris, Charlotte Robineau, and Madame Serafina in Lamplight City. I think those are important characters in individual cases, but I can't place any of them in particular. It's been a while since I played Unavowed. I have interest in like replaying Unavowed because it was a good game, and I think chat liked it. It's been years, but like when I raised that as a possible October game, people did not seem to have any interest at all.
There's no indication of where this is, though. Maybe if I had something to compare it with?
It's a little weird that it won't let me take a closer look at
This
that.
discharge form?
So I guess I'm supposed to... Well, she said she wants to go to Tabitha's first. Tabitha Caldwell, obvious witch. Heather Gostian and Blackwell Epiphany. God, I can't even remember which Blackwell game that is. The naming conventions are like so unintuitive and unhelpful. Madison Haynes and Deception. Nope, that's still not... Still not it. Okay, Tabitha. Tabby's Garden.
Closed on a regular workday, huh? Let's pick this door open.
I love that they can't even make that a puzzle because they didn't bother to render a front door for this location.
Hello? Tabitha?
Let's fire a warning shot into the back room.
I have no desire.
Okay. Is she dead? Is she the next victim? Is it horrible in here?
Oh, fuck.
Okay, good news, bad news. I think I found a lead on the Soothsayer killer. But I don't think I'm going to be questioning Tabitha.
God, I'm sorry, Tabitha. I'm so sorry.
Not like that, sorry. Ooh, a medical bottle.
It's a bottle of ipecac syrup. If ingested, this will quickly induce vomiting. Should be useful enough to take, despite the circumstances.
What must it be like to live the life of an adventure game protagonist? There's a type of comedy that really can't be replicated in any other genre or format that I can think of. Just in the conventions of a point-and-click adventure game. Of like, oh no, I found the dead body of the woman who I was going to question today. The evidence very clearly suggests that she was killed by the serial killer I'm tracking. Someone who's clearly dangerous and may be aware that I'm onto them. My life could be in danger. Ooh, some ipecac.
It's the mirror. The Soothsayer was here.
Let me check her address book.
Looks like Tabitha's address book. Might contain some clues. I'll cross-reference the address book with my notebook. No, there was nothing in common between my notebook and this address book.
Maybe I can go to Lucas's place and check with his address book?
I was hoping to find Faith Cyrene in there. I should check again if I add more clues to my notebook.
Weird. Let me check this lady's drawers.
Nothing but office supplies.
Grow cabinet. Make my cabinet grow. Oh, please don't walk directly over the bloodstains, you psychopath.
Oh, damn. These are red scythe flowers. She's been growing them.
Oh my god. Are you telling me that pyre, the hallucinogenic drug, is made from the hallucinogenic plants from Kathy Rain 1? Who could have been saying that in every installment of this stream repeatedly and been regularly frustrated with Kathy Rain's inability to deduce the obvious connection? Any person who has a face cam on the chat right now?
Something tells me I just found the key ingredient of pyre.
Oh my god.
The question is, was Tabitha an unwitting participant? Or a full-on co-conspirator? I think I found everything in here. I gotta get the hell out of this place before someone sees me.
Oh, great.
I'll wipe everything I touched and then call the cops from a payphone.
It's really good that she just knows that she got everything that she needed.
Poor lady. It seems everyone who has something to do with Faith Cyrene ends up dead.
Yes. I wish I'd pushed Tabitha harder the first time we met. Maybe she'd still be alive.
Okay, but like again, I want to go back to the fact that this investigation has felt very like toothless and ineffectual. Like the first time we talked to her, there was like so little that the game would let us do. Like we didn't have very much to incriminate her other than like what was it, the fingerprint on the mirror? Was that the thing that we were like, that I was like trying to ask her about? And then Kathy Ray just like interjects like, I don't want to talk about that. It's like, okay, well I guess there's genuinely no point in us being here at all.
It's not your fault, Kathy. At least you found some clues in there.
Yeah, I'll follow up on those now and see what I can find.
All right, I'll stick with the research. Be careful. And call me if you need me.
I will.
So I cannot go to Lucas's.
Better not. I searched the place extensively yesterday, and the cops might be there now.
Can I go to the ranger station and check my map against the map?
No, I don't see any similarities here. I guess Cooper's map doesn't depict something local to this area.
Here's a real long shot.
Let's keep things more sensible than that.
Okay, don't act like it's a stupid suggestion. You said that the postcards were like local landmarks. I think it's entirely feasible that if like map of the prevailing region isn't it, that like something here could indicate a place to start. I do always like to see the fairly rare instances of adventure games like taking into account like alternate thought processes. I feel like that's a good opportunity to like let you know that you're on the right track but not doing exactly the thing that they want you to do, rather than what like adventure games are typically coded to do, which is like, you didn't do the thing that I perceived of, you psychopath. What are you doing? It's like that clip that people routinely share with me when it makes rounds on social media of like that woman playing the adventure game and she has like a ladder in her inventory and she's trying to get up to like an object up high on a shelf, and the solution is to like make a makeshift ladder out of like sticks and tape or something. And the prompt is like something like, I would use a ladder to do that, and then like once she like tries everything else under the sun and makes the makeshift ladder, she's like, oh yeah, I could use these to make a ladder. I guess I'll go to the Angstrom facility. That's not good. That's a bad sign. Why is this dude even here? Oh, we're so tampering with that water today.
Hey, what's going on? There's police tape.
Oh, shit. Nobody call you yet?
If they were supposed to call us, I think something bad happened to Kathy Rain's mom.
Nope. Should they have?
Well, I hate to tell you this, but your mother, she was in a group that escaped last night.
That might be worse than her dying.
What the hell? How?
Outside help. I don't have all the details, but it was organized. They disabled the cameras and everything. Our tech guy still can't get them online.
Christ! Do you know anything about the people who broke in?
No, it wasn't my shift. I just heard this morning. The cops are all over that wing now.
But why, Mom? This doesn't make any sense. Can I look at her file?
I'd get it right now, but you know the rules. You need a court order for that kind of thing.
Use gun on friend.
For fuck's sake, Oscar, you idiots let my mom escape and I can't even see her file?
Look, it's not up to me, but we'll call you when we have an update.
You better. I don't have time to take this through the courts. I need to get her file. The papers should be somewhere in Oscar's room. Maybe I can get rid of him somehow?
You know what might be great for a situation like this? Some curiously obtained ipecac. I mean, gun's a quicker solution, yes. It'd be really funny to do it like while he was directly
Hey, that's
over there.
employees only.
Jeez, okay, take it easy. Well, that didn't work. Maybe if somebody could distract him.
Let's call Eileen from our cellular telephone.
Rain Investigations, Eileen.
Pour coffee on his plants. Definitely the right track.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, how are things going out there?
Well, not great, and I could use your help. I'm at Ingstrom's.
Say no more. I'll be there in a jiff.
Great. Thanks, E.
Honestly, I feel like we should say more. Like, we didn't even establish that we, like, need her physical presence here in that
Good,
amount
you
of
made
time.
Hey, what's going on? What's with the police cars outside?
Yeah, this is like the more we could have said on the phone.
Fucking breakout, apparently.
Whoa, seriously?
Seriously, several people escaped, including Mom.
Gee, that can't be a coincidence, can it?
Never always happens.
I doubt it. If we can get access to the patient files, maybe we can find some clues.
Ladies, I can hear you.
Sounds like a plan. How can I help?
Can you distract that guy behind the desk?
Distract him? How?
I don't know. Make something up. Act dumb. I mean, be yourself.
Don't say those things back to back like that. That's very insulting.
Ha ha. I guess you'd know all about that.
Kathy Rain -2.
Hi
Vasco
there.
will remember this.
Eileen Summers. I'm with the Gazette. Can I ask you some questions?
Okie dokie.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And you said they disabled the cameras? Like that one on the ceiling?
Like that one?
Yeah,
Let's turn our attention there.
Our computer nerd boss here on site.
Okay, it seems like she automatically did that because I expressed that I understood the assignment, which is interesting. Feminine Wiles. I was pulling for Feminine Wiles, but you know, I'm pretty dedicated to being weird about it. But yeah, now I think we can make him throw up, as chat has indicated is the technical term.
I mean, don't print that. Our head of IT, that is, he's still working on it.
Perfect. That's all the questions I had. Thanks, Oscar.
Anytime. So, when will this print? I gotta tell my mom. Le va encantar.
Anyone have a translation on that?
Very soon. Gotta go. Bye.
Okay, I love you. I love that she was like walking toward the water cooler as if she was gonna drink some. No. Does he not think it's weird that we're talking now? Like, under our ruse, Eileen probably should have left immediately after that.
Ay Dios. That lunchbox must have gotten bad. Clear the way! I'm about to hurl!
So many fades to black. Tech would be furious.
That should keep him out of commission for a while.
Poor Oscar. He'll be okay, right?
I don't know. He let my mom escape from a mental institution and then wouldn't help me out.
He'll be fine. Those are legit meds. Keep watch for me, all right?
Legit meds for a condition he doesn't have.
Okay.
Also, if these are new cups, how did we get the pills in there undetected? So she specifically said it was Ipecac syrup, so it's liquid form. I think what we're led to believe is that she just put it in the water cooler at large. But let me tell you, as someone who has, like, operated one of those before, it is a Herculean effort to, like, manage those giant jugs and to, like, quietly, stealthily, like, flip it over, pour syrup into it, and put it back is, like, comedy gold. That's like rolling, like, 2 nat 20s on a stealth check or something. Like, it's like trying to, like, pickpocket someone while doing, like, a jazz dance routine directly in front of them. And the jazz routine is about the fact that you're currently pickpocketing them. Speaking of picking. Yeah, I had the same thought that, like, if, assuming that we did, like, tamper with the entire supply, like, some idiot is just gonna be like, ooh, a cup of water, and then have an extremely bad day.
All right. Where do we have Sharon Evans in here? Great.
She gonna
That's
love
Mom's
it.
file sorted.
Oh.
Let's see if I can find Copernic's too.
I do imagine that his mom would be excited about that. I do imagine his mom would be less excited about him throwing up than the news story being published.
Perfect. Got that too.
Have we talked about the Engstrom motto is Engstrom weak hair? And wasn't it like... Was it something in this game? No, it wasn't. I think it was one of the Hallmark movies I was watching where, like, yeah, I remember now. There's one that had a family business in it. Shocker. Everyone will be shocked. But, like, the daughter like returned home and like talked to the father and was like, oh, like you're open, and like he said that like the business motto was like, we're open for business, and I'm like, that's a terrible like slogan for your business. That as a business, the slogan "we're open for business" basically just means we exist. Like it tells you like nothing.
Looks like this is supposed to display surveillance feeds, but there's nothing but static right now. Various work-related notes, nothing out of the ordinary. Probably just some spare work clothes in there.
Okay, wait, serious question. Before, I kind of thought this was a door out of here. Now that it's labeled as closet, where did that guy go to throw up? Because, like, did he, like, duck under the police like, where did that man go? Like, it's implied by, like, the mat and the way we enter this, that this is the entrance to the building. So, like, you would either have to go outside, or he, like, locked himself in the closet, or he went past the police tape. Like, there's no fourth option. Currently throwing up in the closet, in the police car. I mean, these are basically the options. None of those sound very good. Hey, I could go for some water.
Couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Cooler. Lucas's gun. Fully loaded. I'm ready for you, Soothsayer.
It won't? Oh, now it will. When I tried to click and drag it before, it just said that instead of letting me try to shoot up the water cooler.
I have no desire to shoot that.
Maybe I should put my headache medicine in there.
What am I even trying to do here?
Dude, I don't know.
Hey, I got what I needed.
Nice. Meet at your office later?
For
Yep.
kisses. I think I might as well go back there for now. So, like, I should, check the new files and check my notebook for whatever it thinks is still unresolved. Oh, I bet if I get something from here, I can check Tabitha's notes.
Let's see here. Huh. Apparently a Marla Stone has visited Mom multiple times in the last year. I don't recognize that name.
It's an anagram for something, but I'm not a Zero Escape character, so I can't instantly do massive and complex anagrams in my head. Okay, that's all we got from that? Like, that's convenient from a video game standpoint, but that seems a little wild. My name is a rock. Oh, that's spectacularly stupid. I love that very much.
Well, it seems our boy had quite the stint at the facility. He was first admitted 13 years ago for severe schizophrenia. There's a veritable smorgasbord of symptoms, including hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, violent outbursts, you name it. Then last year, apparently he had some kind of unexplained, miraculous recovery. Very strange.
So, do you think it's a side effect of being a colored jacket, ominous figure individual that, like, you lose your hair? Like, maybe he wasn't bald until he became Mr. Burgundy, but when Mr. Burgundy took over, like, his hair fell out as, like, a side effect. It's basically like magical chemo? Is that something?
I guess somebody fucked up big time when they released this guy. Huh, interesting. There was an audio tape in this folder, too. I'll have to listen to that.
Oh no, we're playing Kathy Rain 1 again. Pretty sure this goes in my answering machine.
Let's keep things more
Hello? Would you like to tell me, because this game does not have a tape recorder, Kathy Rain. If you would like to listen to the tape, you're probably gonna have to use the answering machine. Does my radio have a cassette player in it that hasn't been plot relevant? It turns out it does. Good thing I was alive in the 90s to think about that.
Hypnosis session number 12, patient Victor Kopernik, Dr. Alan Bloom conducting the session.
This honestly feels like a legitimate roadblock to like a non-trivial number of players of this game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Victor, hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you, Dr. Bloom.
Okay, Victor. I want us to go back to the forest. Can we do that?
We'll tap it to add green mana to our mana pool.
Yes, I'm in the woods. I'm in uniform. A workday like any other. Pleasant weather. This is nice. No people.
No people, just
Shall
werewolves.
we sculpt some
werewolves?
flesh friends, then?
Very good, Victor. Now take me forward to when you start to feel that something is amiss.
Well, it's when a lady showed up. That's a miss, singular.
Okay.
I'll push it. Beep.
The stag. I'm tracking him. He's run off the beaten path.
Dude, what's up with the Rangers? From what I can tell, the Rangers don't do any work in this game. I mean, I guess, like, one of them went to the Soothsayer crime scene while we were there. But, like, it seems like the majority of what they do is just, like, hunt animals on, like, government property. I don't know, it's just a little weird, in my opinion.
There's a strange smell mixed up with the iron of the blood. Probably nothing. I need to catch up with him before dark.
One of my favorite Magic the Gathering card flavor texts of all time is a card called Steady Progress. And it's meant to represent the gradual but inevitable takeover of this, like, artificial, like, mechanical, like, biomechanical plane being taken over by this, like, evil machine oil from, like, really early in the days of Magic the Gathering. It was, like, an enemy that, like, everyone sort of thought was dead, and they were, like, powered by this, like, corrupting oil. And, like, it just has this, like, slow inevitability to it. And, like, the first reference, like, made to this Phyrexian oil showing up in, like, something like 20 years of real Earth time was just, like, this innocuous, like, filler card for booster packs that just, like, shows, like, a guy, like, dipping his fingers in this pool of, like, water. And the flavor text just says, more of that strange oil. Probably nothing. And it just, like, leads to the entire, like, end of civilization as he knows it, which then, like, another, like, 10 years in the future leads to this, like, universal collapse of, like, all reality. Probably nothing.
There he is, finally. Collapsed in a clearing. Red flowers all around him. What a neat display.
It's neat. It says, why does this man sound angrily out of breath? Because he's got, like, I mean, according to his file, he has, like, every type of psychological trauma to deal with. So he surely has, like, anger management issues also.
Wait. Sinkhole. It's not on the map. How far did I... That god-awful smell is making it hard to think. It stings. My eyes are watering. Wait. He's still alive. The stag is standing up and staring at me now with those shiny black eyes.
Like a doll's eyes.
Like polished rocks. He speaks.
Yo, Holmes, what's up?
What is he saying, Victor?
I have made a great sacrifice, and you must offer up a piece of yourself in return.
Point of order. You made a sacrifice to what end? Why would I owe you some sort of sacrifice in exchange for you doing something that's unclear to me?
Fair is fair, I suppose. I've turned into a little boy now.
That's a weird power.
Too big for me. The stag is so close, I can feel his breath on my face. See my reflection in his eyes. Why does it look like my reflection is screaming? It hurts. Something is crawling in my head. Coming loose.
These wounds, they will not heal. My God. There's some horrible noise outside. Don't know the source. It has stopped.
No! No!
Why would the tape end in static? Yeah, really ominous moment in the story for that to happen, huh?
Addendum, Dr. Alan Bloom speaking. The hypnosis session was terminated following a traumatic breakdown. The patient had to be sedated and restrained.
That was Conwell Woods he was describing, wasn't it? Where everything happened to us in '95?
Okay. Go see if I can figure out what that is. Hold tight. This is really upsetting. Dude, I can't see anything. I see like a couple lights on in like houses down the road, but like there is some like vibrating so intense I like feel and like hear it like shaking hinges on doors in my house. Like I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it sure sounded like it.
Did he specifically say it was in Conway Woods or what have you? How did we get that from that? Was I just not paying attention?
I'll look into that. Maybe I can find a record of Victor Kopernik in Conwell County.
Sounds good. I'll follow up on my other leads for the time being. I'll cross-reference the address book with my notebook. Whoa, Marla Stone is a hit.
Well, I haven't seen her picture, but I don't mean to disparage.
Huh. Faith's cell phone number is listed under that name. Does that mean Marla Stone and Faith Cyrene are the same person?
So he says, no, he said it was in the park, but it sounds exactly like their woods. I guess only because the previous game made a big deal of the fact that the plants, like, only exist in, like, a really specific climate or something. But, like, other than that, I don't know that there's much that makes it sound like that specific place on Earth.
If they are, Mom could be the mystery caller from Engstrom's that Rachel overheard. It looks like the address for Marla Stone isn't the Onyx Row apartment, though. It's some P.O. box at the library. Number 14. I better go check that out.
Well, I gotta say, the progression of, like, clues and investigation on day 6 is, like, way more interesting than the rest of the game. Which I think is less praise of this day and more condemnation of all the other. Man, it's so haunted in here. I mean, I think that was just for me trying to, check the window. But the curtains just fell down because I used a really cheap pressure rod to keep them in place. But, it's scary, man. I still don't see anything. Seem like you need more pressure. You seem like you're just full. He says that, and then he feels to get one of the curtain rings through the rock. And now I hear police sirens that, like, probably don't mean anything, but, like... What the heck is that, man? Seems like it would have to be, like... Man, I have no sense of what that is. Is the noise still happening? Only periodically. Take 10 minutes. What am I gonna do? Like, go into, like, pitch darkness where something is making a super ominous noise? I think I'm safer playing Kathy Rain 2 than trying to, like, solve the crisis of the doomsday noise. Like, I really don't get the sense that it's anything inside the house or anything that I would have direct agency over. But, like, I don't like that it's happening. Am I going in the library? So Tom Wizard still ain't here, huh? Am I gonna pick the lock on P.O. Box 14?
Here's number 14. Marla Stone's box. Ugh, it's locked tight.
Normally when I hear a weird, loud noise outside, it's just that, like, really inconsiderate idiot driving his, like, big souped-up, like, Jeep with, like, neon rims, blasting, like, regional Mexican music at, like, a disrespectful volume, but, like, this is not that. The lockpicks are sure like a get-out-of-free card for doing any key-related puzzles for the entire plot of the game.
There was a letter in there. It's a letter addressed to Marla Stone from a retired mining foreman. Interesting. He seems to be answering questions about obsidian veins in the mines around Cassidy.
Hey, letters, welcome. Thank you for the raid. I noted that you were streaming tonight. I thought you were going to be gone for longer than that. Hopefully you've traveled safe and there haven't been any issues. Welcome. This stream is super duper haunted. There's very ominous noises going on that I have no source to. Still kind of happening. Just gonna check the window again. Feels like it's something I might be able to get sight of. Okay. I think I got it. So there's a truck that's parked on someone's lawn down the street. I believe that it is angled in such a way that the subwoofer is aimed directly at this room of my house. So it's like actually like vibrating the structure of my house, because even though it is like 10:40 at night, someone's like, yeah, it seems like a good idea to like blast this music out of the back of my vehicle. It doesn't look like it's running, but like I see like tail lights, so I guess it is. That's noise ordinances. Yeah, I don't know. There is some part of me that's like, maybe I should call someone, because like that is not cool. But also, hi and welcome to the stream. Hello, everyone. We're playing Kathy Rain 2. We are investigating the mystery of the Soothsayer serial killer, which we've recently had reason to believe is really just like a series of murders perpetrated by a small cult rather than a traditional serial killer, which is in line with Kathy Rain 1. Yeah, something, investigating the mine foreman. Yeah, you know, Saturday Night Shenanigans.
There's some
like
kind of topographical map of the mines here, too. I'll separate it from the letter.
Gee, I wonder if that would be useful to me at all. Maybe if I was to...
Good idea. Let's see if I can find any tunnels that look like this sketch.
Also, yes, thank you to Demolition for gifting another
right next
4
to an entrance
subs.
to an old quarry.
We're now beyond the elite number.
Fuck. I think this is it. This is where their hideout is. I gotta get back to E and make a plan.
I didn't read that letter. I got too excited about solving the puzzle. Is that important? Do I need to know that? Our cat is Neon.
I can't believe it. We actually know where these awful people are now.
Yes. We have to confront them tonight. If they've got Mom, God knows what they'll do to her.
Okay, now listen, I'm on the fence about calling someone over, like, disturbing the peace. But if y'all are talking about, like,
Okay.
saving your mom who escaped from a mental hospital, and you believe there's a cult who's been doing a series of murders locally about anyone who kind of gets even remotely in their way, I'm thinking maybe you call the cops on that one. I think maybe you tell the cops all the information and try to get that reward, but also make sure that you have the firepower to not get killed. Like,
Shall
try
we
not to get
sculpt
arrested,
some flesh friends,
but like maybe
then?
don't get killed either.
Just the two of us? I know
You
it's the
and
right
I.
thing to do, but maybe we should try to get more help?
Oh, look, someone has approached. It's Tom Ward, aka Tom Wizard, aka Mr. Crimson, aka Mr. Worldwide. No, that's someone else. That's a different guy.
Some backup would be great, but I mean, who could we trust with something like
Is
this?
this supposed to be comedic?
Hold that thought. I'll get it.
Detective Rain, we need to talk.
Someone's got impeccable timing. Come on in, buddy.
DJ Khaled. Yeah, someone knows what's up. Sarah knows what's up.
Oh, hello there. How do you do? I'm Tom Ward.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that is the same voice actor from the first game, and I feel like the appropriate way to start a conversation from this man is...
Shall we sculpt some flesh friends, then?
Eileen Summers. Kathy told me about you. Thanks for looking out for her yesterday.
Don't thank me yet. I overheard something about the two of you needing backup.
Not so fast, Tom. You have a lot of questions to answer.
Very well. We have some time.
First of all, how did you become the Crimson One?
That's a long and painful story.
Cliff Notes?
Just give me the broad strokes then.
Well, let's just say I suffered a great personal tragedy. I had nothing to lose and nothing to live for.
I suppose in 1998 that felt a little more remarkable. In 2025, that's just a Tuesday.
And I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Conwell Woods.
More like Con Unwell Woods, because it keeps getting worse over there.
In that moment of weakness, the old god seized me and wrapped me in that red velvet prison. And there I remained, until your blaze offered an escape.
An escape? How?
It's difficult to explain, but the fire weakened the old god enough for me to break free from his influence.
I do love that this dude is dropping like Lovecraftian like old god nonsense, but like they're just sort of like, explain how you got out. Like, we're just gonna take at face value that the old gods are real. Okay.
So what? You're back to your former self now?
This actor is so theatrical. Yeah, man.
As far as I can tell, yes.
Very true.
It's as if that horrific night in Conwell Woods never happened.
Tell me about your former master then. The one the church revered as the old god?
He is the great Eye, the evoker behind the curtain,
Cthulhu.
the master of the malleable.
The malleable?
That's the realm you entered in 1995. The shifting depths, powered by the red flowers.
So what happened when I burned them all?
You cut off the old god from our world and cauterized the threshold to the malleable. He was weakened in the process, allowing me to slip out of the suit and escape.
I'm annoyed. I feel like there's a world in which this concept of the literal suit, like causing him to embody like the servant of an old god, is like interesting. But like there's something that's so frustrating to me about the way they tried to like introduce this character as being the same person as the Crimson Man, as like just so irritating to me.
What is the old god exactly?
Big cow. Big cow. Or maybe it's...
Fashionable DT man.
Or perhaps...
Sosajima.
Ooh, it definitely could be Sosajima. That would answer a lot of my questions.
I wish I knew. He isn't human, I know that much. He doesn't have a name. In fact, the concept of names is completely foreign to his kind.
So, if I was to say to someone of his kind...
It's a cutie with a killer body.
Well, I guess that's not a name. They'd probably have a concept of that. In fact, for all I know, the old gods are all killers with cuties with a killer body.
And he's bound to this malleable place?
It seems so, but I can't say for certain. It is possible that he is the malleable incarnate.
What does he want then?
Klondike Bar.
He should be called evil, for he did heinous things. but I believe he is simply a curious, reckless, powerful entity with no grasp of human morality. A child playing with ants, if you will.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, Keen. This is really cool, but it's annoying that they waited 6 days in to acknowledge this. Like, I feel like, I mean, for one, I think the reveal that, like, Tom Ward is supposed to be the Crimson Man is a lot more interesting if he's somewhat more integral to the case. Like, the fact that he, like, hid behind these ominous notes and, like, didn't really make himself a character until, like, the day before he outed himself as the ominous figure, and then, like, led into all of this, like... I feel like the pace of the early game was like so like achingly slow that things would be like so much more interesting if we accelerated like some of the elements of our understanding of like the human stuff, and it led us to some like peculiarity that like only Tom Ward could answer, and then, you know, we work with him for a couple days and then we get that reveal. And then, like, he slowly starts telling us this over, like, 3 days or something? I don't know. This is some real illusion of choice nonsense. These are all basically the same thing. These are all just, like, snarky response to difficult to process thing. Hi, Jakey. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing this Saturday? You don't think he's really evil?
You don't think he's really evil? Somebody's caught a nasty case of Stockholm Syndrome.
Maybe so. But only by understanding our enemies can we find the right strategy to defeat them.
Vote betray.
In any case, for many years the old god used me as the Crimson One to bring people into his sphere of influence so he could see what makes them tick.
So that's why people started disappearing and going crazy?
He says, I was wondering if we'd see any of the supernatural elements of the first game, or if they just ignore those things existed. There is also something genuinely annoying about that too, right? Like, even like early on, just the discussions of...
Tessa, also known as ASET.
I don't know why there was lag on that. Like, there were some early indications that, like, with the scrying mirrors and whatever, that there was like something occult going on, and like Kathy Rain made like no acknowledgement of the fact that she like had a whole case when she was in college where like her grandfather's soul was sealed into like a playing card, and then she had to solve the Millennium Puzzle. Nope, sorry, conflating that with something else. But like her grandfather got like whoopsied off into the malleable, and then she had like a hallucination of the elevator that went down into hell, and then like dropped herself in a pit or some nonsense. And then I think she like stabbed her mom or something. Like there was like there was just like all this like mystical, psychological, occult nonsense, and like Eileen was in danger and her father was like trapped and like all this stuff, and like we literally never talk about that, to the extent that like yesterday when we like talked to Eileen, what was it we actually said to her? We made some indication that things were like connected to the spooky stuff that happened in like our hometown, and she was like, we never talked about that. I'm starting to think that it wasn't just like one bad human guy. And it was like, wait, you mean to tell me that in like 3 years we didn't have an earnest conversation about what went down that time you got like knocked unconscious and like tied up in like a mausoleum somewhere? Like, that's just bad friending. And that's why I'm gonna win the heart of Eileen and continue to be super weird about it on stream.
Yes. Then things took a turn for the worse when the church entered the picture. When Price the Elder, Father Bill, found the threshold in the sinkhole, and the malleable began to be used for their fanatical practices.
So Father Bill was corrupted by the old god?
I mean, derp? Duh?
If anything, they corrupted each other. I watched as the old god assumed a role of divine authority, aligned with Father Bill's zealous ideas of penance and contrition.
So, where does the Soothsayer come in? You think the killings are related to the old god?
I have some mixed feelings on this. I feel like having this conversation now kind of makes me, like, retroactively annoyed about the handling of the previous game, that we, like, don't get any of these answers and they don't matter to Kathy until now. Does this have a Lovecraftian element? It definitely does. I don't know if it's, like, overt Lovecraftian or inspired by Lovecraft, by which I mean, like, I don't know if this is meant to be a particular old god that, like, literally exists in the Lovecraftian canon, or just, like, the vague concept of an old god, but, like, yeah.
Yes, I believe that whoever is committing these murders is trying to restore the threshold to the malleable.
How would they even do that?
Escalator?
Through ritualistic killings. Obsidian is a material with mystical properties and intimately linked to the old god's power.
I don't need to know about the intimate life of the old god.
Wait, isn't that supposed to be the red flowers?
One does not exclude the other, and when combined, both of these elements have an even greater potency.
They're all part of it.
That makes sense. I found indications that the bad guys have been cultivating red scythes. Probably to make pyre with, right?
It's so tiring to me that, like, she's so smug about solving this on day 6, when on, like, day 1 I'm like, you know what, that's probably the really important unique plant that we established in the first game. It took her like 6 days and she's like, I am so smart. I figured out that the cult who needed, like, an obviously mystical thing cared about the plant I already knew about 3 years ago.
Oh, yes. That's been my working theory for some time now. As for what motivates these villains, I cannot say.
Concerning Cooper, I might have a clue. I just found proof that before he changed his name, he used to work as a ranger in Conwell County. That's when he was admitted to Engstrom's.
There you have it. He must have come into contact with the threshold in Conwell Woods, and the old god sank his claws into him.
Are those literal or figurative claws? We haven't been given a physical description of the old god.
Makes sense. What about Cyrene, then?
Come on, Cyrene.
Is that the scarred woman? I've come across descriptions of her, but never a surname.
That's her. She calls herself Faith Cyrene.
But she's also like Marla Stone or something.
I wish I could provide some insight, but I've learned very little of her.
All right. I also wonder why the heck these people may have broken Mom out.
Both Cooper and Sharon were at Engstrom's at the same time. They must have had some contact there.
I guess so. Regardless, if she's with these people, Mom is in serious fucking trouble.
Agreed. I'd go as far as to say mortal peril.
Another thing, Tom. You mentioned a planetary conjunction?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Ah, yes. When Saturn and Venus meet, the planes align and the malleable draws close.
I don't know, there's some quality to that line read that just, like, doesn't feel natural. Like, it somehow feels like it fits the theatrical nature of the way the character speaks, but, like, it has the quality of him, like, reading it off of, like, cue cards while trying to perform on stage. It's like, yes, when Saturn and Venus meet, the planes align and the malleable draws close. What does that mean? Line?
So, that's when you think the bad guys will try to reestablish this threshold?
That's what I fear, yes. At that moment, the conditions will be ideal.
We've established that the launch would be ideal.
When does this event occur exactly?
Oh, Meadow mentioned that before. It should be about 6 hours from now, give or take.
That's not very much time at all.
All right, shit. Guess we're on the clock.
Demolition, did you just moderate your own message?
Indeed. So how about it, Detective Rain? Shall we work together?
What do you say, Kathy? 3 is a good number, isn't it?
2 can be as bad as 1 sometimes. Oh, I got you. Wrong link. Again, a pointless interlude. Beggars can't be choosers, fine, but you better keep the poetry. Sure, why not? We all have 6 hours to live anyway.
Sure, why not? We all have 6 hours to live anyway.
Oh, let's not succumb to gloom already.
Why don't we sculpt some flesh friends, eh?
Yeah. I guess we better make a plan.
Might be Windows. Hey, you know I'm feeling suspicious of Windows after, like, logout gate this week.
In case we lose contact, these radios should come in handy.
Something, the radios are immune to the malleable or some garbage.
Good. Only one gun between the three of us, though? I guess I better not miss.
At least we've got the element of surprise in our favor.
I wouldn't be so sure. Andrea's notes mentioned a wireless surveillance system.
Underground, those signals would likely be sent on a narrow low-band frequency.
Okay, can we disrupt that somehow?
I think so. I should be able to modify one of those radios to briefly jam the video feed.
Perfect. You got a car, Tom?
I do. You take the lead, we will follow.
Oh, I thought all three of us were going to get on Kathy's motorcycle, which sounds hilarious. Or maybe she's got like a sidecar stashed away or something. I do sort of appreciate being able to see Eileen on the loading screen.
All right. This should be it. Better move carefully.
Eileen's sandwich. It's a good sandwich. So I've just saved. Do you think this is a LucasArts game or a Sierra game? I think this is a modern Sierra game. Sierra, I think, eventually backed off the like fail state thing.
That door must lead deep. That door.
No, I can't just walk directly into the surveillance camera. Man is obsessed with the ginger. Listen, I'm committed to being weird about it. You don't be weird by being normal. I don't know how to make this clearer to you, Miss Dream. This feels like some nonsense. This conceit of the...
All right, the coast is clear.
Probably too advanced for 1998 wireless surveillance technology and the absolutely analog solution to it.
A surveillance room.
Jackpot. Looks empty. Let's check it out.
You two go ahead. I'll scout the rest of this tunnel.
Good idea. I'll be with you in a sec.
Would we say it's a good idea for an unarmed man to go alone deeper into the cave system that's full of cultists trying to resurrect an old god onto this plane of existence under an astral convergence? I feel like at best that's a C-, not like a great idea.
Got anything?
No Cooper, no Sharon. I've got somebody that could be Faith Cyrene, though.
That voice, did he try to make some flesh friends?
Shall we sculpt some flesh friends, then?
You know, it is interesting. We are short on manpower, and we did just sort of establish that, but we still haven't really figured out what it means to sculpt some flesh friends. He hasn't even suggested doing that. Reminds me of Temple of Doom. Yeah, yeah, definitely a little bit. King says camera jamming doesn't seem that weird in the scope of what they've already done. I mean, it's not a huge leap beyond some of the stretches to credibility we've already done. I'm more annoyed about the implausible wireless surveillance system for 1998. I'm not convinced that these cultists have suggested they have the kind of resources for like that level of technology, even with like a really good engineering student who was on their payroll until they burned her to death. But like, it does seem at least convenient that Eileen is just sort of like, oh yeah, I can make the walkie-talkie still function as a walkie-talkie, but also like blow up the spot of those cameras.
Show me.
Right here.
Yeah, I think that's her. Any idea how to get to that room?
Nope. There's no map or layout anywhere.
I'll bring Tom and look for her. You stay here and keep an eye on the monitors.
Okay, call me on the radio if you need me.
Okay, I love you. Kisses.
Yeah?
In case something happens to me and Mom's here, you'll get her out, right?
Kathy, I think if something happens to you and your mom is still here, for one, the world is over, and for two, everyone is in imminent danger beyond the end of the world.
Don't talk like that, Kathy.
Promise, Eileen.
Okay, I promise.
Good. Keep that radio on. Just some scribbles from when the mine was active.
Uniform
Cooper's
sounds good.
uniform. He must be here. Faith's Irene is still...
Not enough space to make very interesting save file names. Overt tunnel. I don't know why I'm treating this like a not adventure game. Overt tunnel. It's not a secret. It's right there. Have you kissed your girlfriend yet?
Looks like it splits off here.
We probably wouldn't be doing an investigation. We'd probably be playing some sort of game that is against Twitch's terms of service.
Yes. I'll take this path. You go straight. Any sign of trouble will connect on the radio.
This guy is courageous and probably stupid. Want some missable achievements? I mean, are they spoilery?
Fine. Take this at least.
Stun gun?
Your famous electric weapon. What an honor.
Did we even, like, use that on Crimson Man?
Don't read too much into it, you weirdo.
I'm not sure that's what we're doing.
I'll try.
Yeah, just, like, try not to, like, spoil any plot stuff, and we're probably fine.
Took you long enough. I'm here to avenge my friend. Murderer. I may have killed your friend.
This is definitely Evil Us, right?
Killed my world. No. It can't be.
The game tried really hard to convince me that it wasn't her, but I was right all along.
Thought you'd won back then, did you? In the burning woods. So you escaped from that place? The Malleable? Oh, I've been to hell and
They
back.
also describe her eyes as being not blue, but they're clearly blue.
Very angry with you.
Big Daddy is very angry with you? Daddy does not approve.
And when he arrives, he will tear you from limb to limb. Whatever you're planning, you won't live long enough to see it. This is
Daddy does approve!
Don't you dare harm my child, Vixen!
No!
Oh, that actually makes sense.
Victor, get your useless hide over here. It's not what you think, Mom. She's fooling you.
Enough lies.
Kathy, come in.
She's even stronger than my mom.
We're on top of it. Stay where you are, E.
I don't know if you can die here.
Okay, just be careful.
I don't know who redeemed birthday as demolition. Okay, sure. Seems like a great... I don't...
Not right now. He's shooting in this direction.
Okay.
Not right now. He's shooting in this direction.
It's gonna be really finicky about this. That's fine. Oh, okay. Demolition says I should talk to Tom. Hi, Tom.
You okay back there?
Unharmed. We should strategize before this goon gets the drop on us.
We need some way to make a plan without Victor overhearing us. Hey, Tom, come in. Over.
I hear you. Over.
Anything useful in that tunnel you came through?
No, let's focus on what we can do in this room.
I don't feel like I can tell him to leave if that's how this conversation works. Apparently the valve. Oh, of course.
Could you make a run for that valve?
I'll do my best. Cover me. I'll make a move shortly after we hang up.
Will do. Oh, fuck!
Oh, I see what you mean. Not tell Tom to go, like, for his own safety. Just tell Tom to go and don't
Not
magically intuit the... This section of the game feels like it's gonna have the same problem that stealth sections usually have, where, like, they perceive some really clever strategic way to get through this that's, like, not something you can, like, logically deduce. Keep interacting with... Okay,
That's
sure.
some god-awful aim, buddy! Do they let any idiot be a ranger these days?
You little bitch! Just you wait.
What a profoundly uninteresting character.
Should've stayed locked up in the nut house, you psycho!
What a pathetic attempt at intimidation! I will end you all!
What a shit shot you are, Victor! I'm not surprised you missed me in Deborah's cabin.
Knew I smelled a rat in there. Craven!
This guy sounds like a little bit like Moma from the Somnium Files. I mean, I got an achievement for those 3. Is there a higher level? Is he Big Daddy? No, Big Daddy is worse.
Not right now.
Even when he stops shooting, I can't shoot him. So it's got to be some idiot strategizing for the radio.
Hey, Tom?
I hear you.
Any ideas on how we take this guy down?
No, but he is outnumbered. If we work together, I'm sure we can get the upper hand.
Do you see that leaky pipe next to the elevator?
I do. Do you think it could be helpful somehow?
It might, yeah. I'll let you know if I can come up with a plan. No need to discuss. Yes, we should both head through there eventually, but we won't get close until we have neutralized Victor.
What if he just has Stormtrooper in?
I don't think that can... Anything you...
No.
I doubt the elevator can help us right now.
So, it seems like the valve is the only thing that's useful, but if I don't somehow modify the basic strategy, it seems like Victor has like 100% immediate instant death accuracy. And also, clearly the game, like, reset when he got shot, like, immediately in the head. So, like, that's not even, like, an alternate ending that's acceptable. So, like...
Could you make a run?
I'll do my best.
Will do. Good job, Tom. I hit that bastard.
Okay, I get the distinction they're making there. That feels annoying, though. It wasn't so, like... You know, he says, I think you had the right idea the first time you were just too slow. But, like, to be clear, my thought was that I should, like, shoot him once he exposed himself. Like, he does say, cover him, but, like... I don't have that many bullets. I don't know. Covering fire is not necessarily a reliable deterrent. I get how it's supposed to be. It's just like, again, like, as I was sort of suggesting, it feels like it has the problem of, like, most video game stealth sections where, like, it doesn't feel deterministic what will lead to success.
Yes, but let's not celebrate just yet. We've got the advantage, but we better not dawdle.
Empty. Guess he ran out of ammo just now.
Well, we got something for that. This is definitely same
That
type
won't
ammo.
work. The rifle uses a different caliber.
That's frankly a really stupid achievement, if I can be entirely honest with you. 8, 6, 7. It's only 4 digits, huh? 8008. 6969. Frankenstein one we missed earlier? Well, I don't think I know what that is. Okay, I guess I'll just talk.
Hey, Tom?
Yes?
Any ideas on how to figure out the door code?
No, but I suspect we won't find it in plain view.
I don't want to show... Okay.
Understood.
Eileen,
Hey,
do you
Eileen?
have something?
Yeah, thanks. It got a bit hairy there, but we've sent him packing. Let's talk.
Door code.
You have a view of the keypad in here from that camera on the ceiling, right?
Yeah? Why?
Well, can you rewind the footage and check what code they used?
Oh, great idea. Give me a minute. I found the right spot, but I can only see the first 3 digits. 599.
All right, I can work with that.
It's odd.
That's all.
There's either some weird trick to this or that's like a non-puzzle. Literally one.
Let's go.
Wait.
Check the
He's
achievement
near.
on YouTube. It's just the single
dark
fourth
one.
wall line.
The Great Eye.
Honestly, like, a decent number of the achievements in this game are just that.
All the more reason to stop the bad guys. Come on.
I cannot. I'm sorry. I was barely able to escape him the last time.
For fuck's sake. Pull yourself together. I need your help.
This is me pulling myself together. Believe me. I hoped I could resist. Take this.
Is it a sword? Is it Link's sword?
A knick-knack. Well, gee, I'm saved.
This isn't the time for quips. You are holding a selenite seal. It has
Cool.
purifying properties said to be able to expel evil spirits.
Sounds like a lot of wild conjecture to me.
She's like seeing
It is
things,
not.
right?
Trust me. Keep it close. You will know when to use it. Now, go. Stop them. Save your mother.
Like, at this point in Kathy Rain's life, where, like, an evil doppelganger that was, like, born of a hallucination in, like, a hellmouth in the town where she grew up, like, convincing her mom that she is, like, the devil's handiwork and, like, an evil doppelganger. I feel like it's really disingenuous for Kathy Rain to suggest that she, like, doesn't believe in, like, implausible, like, supernatural stuff. Like, it makes me think of that joke from the Glass Cannon podcast where, like, they were playing in, like, Pathfinder, which was, like, based on some of the older, like, D&D lore and mechanics and stuff. And, like, one player, like, said that their character was, like, an atheist. And someone's response was, like, it's a really bold choice in a world where gods demonstrably exist and influence, like, everyday occurrences. Some sort of powder on the numpad. I mean, we did already do a fingerprint thing, but I was actually kind of thinking that before I figured I should just exhaust my dialogue options. She's being awfully weird for someone who literally faced herself in hell and burnt down that world. Right? That's, yeah. King gets it.
Damn it, she's here! Move aside, Mom. She's the fake one. She's the imposter.
She's the fake one? She stopped at nothing to get me out of that torture chamber. That's what a real daughter does.
I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation means that you belong in the asylum, I'm afraid. I'm gonna go with the top one, but I'm probably gonna get dead. Real daughter doesn't give you what you want, she gives you what you need.
No, it's not. A real daughter doesn't give you what you want, she gives you what you need.
Oh, spare me your tough love bullshit. You think you know better than your own mother? What I need is someone who shows up and actually gives a fuck.
Think about it. When have I ever done what you want with no questions asked?
Think about it. When have I ever done what you want? No questions asked.
Well, I thought you'd changed. I thought you had
Got
become
her.
the daughter I wanted.
There's an achievement for convincing her you're the real one. The timer is ominous. You know what it reminds me of? Remember that time in Raincoat that I like made a short about what happens when the timer runs? It's like a 10-minute timer that like is linked to some cartoonishly large time bomb in like the mystery labyrinth or something, and I was like, I wonder what happens if you just wait out the timer. I wonder what happens if you wait out the 4-hour and 40-minute timer.
I wish. We've always been like this. You and I, at odds with one another. And as painful as that is, I think it will always be part of our story. I'm too proud to ever beg for help. You know that. But, Mom, this time I really need you to be there for me. I really need you to see me.
Catherine? I don't understand.
Well, I guess that's that. Drop the gun, bitch, or I'll paint the floor with Mom's throat.
Would have been good for our buddy to give us our stun gun back, just like FYI.
Let her go. This is between us.
Petty fools, with your pointless little feuds. We are on the cusp of a glorious transformation!
I don't like this guy. He's really boring. I do think it's funny, though, that, like, we have this whole, like, med bay set up in case he gets shot non-lethally. There's something, like, really silly about this to me. Wouldn't have been able to close the distance. No, you misunderstand, Keen. My thought is that we drop the gun and we're like, okay, we're unarmed, and then we find ourselves an opening, and then bam, second weapon. That's what I'm thinking. But, like, if we drop the gun, now we just straight up have nothing other than our, like, glass seal of Orichalcos or whatever.
Victor, you fucking idiot, it's too early. It won't be stable.
Quiet, Tulpa. You are nothing but a lowly familiar. The fire in my veins will bind the threshold, once and for all.
That sounds bad, I don't like it.
And our two worlds will become as one.
This is what it's like when worlds collide! No Power Man 5000 fans. That went bad. That's not what I wanted. My fingers. I've never seen them fing. Looks like the timer stops 2 hours in. Who tried that? Oh, we finished day 6, gang!
No. Not again.
Gonna ruin my leather jacket.
Before. I can do it again.
Water, his only weakness. I don't think we'll ever get a satisfying explanation to the gears, but they are a cool thing. What's in the drawers?
Nothing useful, just a terrible smell.
It feels like an editorial. Oh cool, a white bullet.
Everything I had on me is gone. Except this.
I like this type of conceit for an adventure game, and I really liked when they discussed this in Kathy Rain 1, but I didn't think they did a very good job of implementing it the first time around. This time, like, at least the white bullet at least represents the weird seal that we were given. Whereas last time it was like a penny that just, like, randomly helped our father pass on, or our grandfather pass on to the afterlife. Like, It didn't feel like it was, like, organically tied to anything, even, like, kind of suggested that was gonna happen.
It looks like the thing Tom gave me, the selenite seal, but morphed into the shape of a bullet.
Lockbox?
It's a box with 3 locks requiring 3 keys.
Do you think we're gonna do the same ritual as last time? What was it, like father, mother, child?
Looks like an altar. Is the box a gift? Or some kind of trap?
Were we already talking about lockboxes in 1998, or was that, like, early 2000s?
Various things, all decrepit and ruined.
Oh, cool,
the
some
cogs again. I'm back in the machine.
I'm back in the machine. Did we at any point previously refer to this place as the machine? Guess we'll call them poplars and leave them unless the bathtub is magic.
There's no way back from where I came.
The bathtub is drained. That's the problem? Such a weird concept.
Well, well, well. Look what crawled out of the gutter.
Actually, it was a bathtub. And I mean that both as a response to well, 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 and also the gutter. Some home slice?
Ready for a world of pain?
Nah, not
the
really.
The malleable will make you squirm, and I've got a front row seat. When I get through this door, you'll be the one in a world of pain, Soothsayer. Soothsayer, huh? Don't give me too much credit. For all his faults, that deranged psycho Victor managed to stab 3 out of 6. Deranged is an understatement. Sacrificing himself like that. You think that was deliberate? No. That was just a stupid overdose. That idiot couldn't even follow a simple plan.
Was simple plan a band we were talking about in 1998?
Strong suit. Mommy issues, I'm sure. What a brute. Unlike him, I kill with finesse.
Weird flex, but okay.
It takes cunning to murder someone by a fall, to burn them alive, hang them.
Does it really take cunning to murder someone by fall?
Why'd you even do it like that? You should know. You're the one who taught me.
I'm not picking the first one because I know what response she's gonna give and I don't want to go there. Actually, she might just give it regardless. It's the third act of every movie I've ever seen. We may look the same, but I'm nothing like you. And then she'll be like, we are exactly the same. And then a monologue will occur.
We may look the same, but I am nothing like you. Keep telling yourself that. In 1995, you left a trail of corpses in your wake.
Go on?
Wait, are you talking about the monsters and the malleable?
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I don't miss those guys.
Monsters. They think, they feel, they suffer. And
yeah, but they did that in service of making other people suffer.
Burned everything. Did this to my face.
Listen, you're not the victim when you're a murderer and you face consequences. That's consequences.
So, wait. Hanging the deacon? That was because of how Isaac Price died in jail? Penny finally dropped, huh? Good for you.
But like, and I perhaps mean to sound indelicate, but like, why would I care? I mean, so the implication I'm supposed to receive is like, her motive for doing the killings, at least that killing, was to like replicate someone who died in our quest to like stop the malleable crap from happening in Kathy Rain 1, but like, it's not like I liked Isaac. He sucked. He kidnapped Eileen and was an all-around bad guy who was running a murder cult. So like, her trying to be like, so I mirrored the death of a guy who killed himself that you didn't like or care about at all. Like, okay. And so anyway, like, it says, I honestly kind of wish Kathy Doppelganger had Scar Swap, and then seeing Doppelganger made you realize you've been playing her the whole time and swapped to Kathy to stop you. There's an interesting game in there but I don't think it would be the type of game that they want. I don't know what the developer's goal is, if they want this to be like a whole series or whatever. But like, I think it would be too early for them to try to pull that kind of rug pull for like the vibe they're going for. I think my reflection at this point in time is like, I mean, I expected the Kathy doppelganger thing. So I will say this, to reflect on that. Like, the second they talked about, like, a mysterious hooded figure that no one saw her face, who wore a hood all the time but was roughly our height, I was like, Kathy doppelganger. Like, it's on footage. Like, I know that you know that I said that. But then, like, they were like, oh, she had, like, cold black eyes. And Kathy Rain clearly has blue eyes. And, like, they said she had black hair. And Kathy Rain clearly doesn't. Which, like, that can be changed more easily. But the fact that they, like, paired both of those things, it kind of gives me a similar vibe to what was really annoying at the end of Nirvana Initiative, where, like, it turned out, like, the twist of that game was that they just lied to you. But, like, really the issue I have here is that, like, I have no problems with the Kathy Rain doppelganger somehow materialized on the physical plane as we know it and wants revenge. Like, that tracks for me. That's fine. But, like, for me, it's kind of at odds with, like, the Soothsayer plot. Like, I feel like we did a weird middle ground thing that, at least personally, I'm not interested in, where, like, the Soothsayer was kind of interesting and felt like it was expanding the lore of, like, mysterious, mystical, magical things that, like, maybe are happening in this version of the world. And then, like, for it to just, like, all be tied back to, like, trying to explain the things we deliberately left unexplained in the first game is a little underwhelming to me. But then also just, like, the fact that, like, we removed the mysterious and interesting elements of the Crimson Man and then brought in, like, evil Kathy as, like, basically the Soothsayer, but then, like, her accomplice is just, like, a generically evil psychopath. Like, we somehow, like, mashed together a bunch of, like, in my mind, like, unfavorable things to take what was, like, a somewhat promising plot and make it feel as, like, generic and derivative as possible, while still, like, not just obviously being the exact plot of something I've seen before. I guess, to be more concise, like, a bunch of decisions were made, and I feel like the culmination of those is to dilute a cool idea into a way less interesting idea. Basically, Tabitha Caldwell was a literal red herring. Not exactly. I mean, she was supplying them with... I mean, I don't really know 100% what she was doing, but I think she was, like, legitimately involved. I think that Kathy is, like, evil Kathy is just enough of a psychopath that, like, to prove her point or whatever, she just killed... She's, like, not a cool person. Like, what were you even trying to do? Like, what's your whole deal, evil Kathy?
What were you even hoping to accomplish with all that death?
Everything. Each sacrifice for Mr. Burgundy brought us closer to the old god's awakening.
I gotta tell you, the Mr. Man universe got
Mr.
real
Burgundy's
weird.
Obedient pet, are you?
Aw, jealous. We both know you never stop longing for a daddy of your own. Poor broken girl, always searching for a new daddy to take you away. And oopsie, I took one from you, didn't I? That old fat pile of misery on the roof. You actually cared about him, didn't you?
It's really rich for the doppelganger of myself to criticize our shared trauma.
Oh, we'll see about that.
At least you never got to slit Mom's throat, you unhinged freak.
That was a ruse, you imbecile.
Oh god, this is
I would
so
never
harsh.
actually hurt her. I love her like you never could. I'd go to the ends of the earth for her. Why do you think I broke her out of that fucking death trap?
For some demented, selfish reason, I bet. I don't trust a word coming out of your mouth.
You really don't know anything.
Ugh.
I'm tired of this. You go and have a nice torment, bitch.
That sounds like something that Monokuma would say in Danganronpa.
Come back here, you coward! I can't find a way to open that door. There's no choice but to explore this place.
So, like, I don't dislike the concept of Evil Kathy, but the actual writing for Evil Kathy is not great. Like, there's something very tiresome about how, like, obvious arch villain her energy is. Like, I really don't love... Like, there's something really stupid about her being like, oh, boo-hoo, you have trauma, you care about our dad. Well, at least you didn't get to kill our mom. Well, first off, since my plan failed, obviously I intended to fail. But also, even though you care about your dad and it's lame, I care about our mom and it's cool. Like... I mean, there's certainly some level of that. Just the fact that she's written as, like, such an obvious, like, cartoon villain means that, like, she's just really flat and two-dimensional and whatever. But, like, just in addition to that, I think there's something really, like, tedious about, like, how, like, thin-skinned and, like, not thought through it is that she spends all this time being like, oh, you've got daddy issues, boo-hoo. And then we're like, Mom. And she's like, don't talk about my mommy issue. Like, it's just, I don't, there's something really stupid about it. Like, it just comes across, like, genuinely kind of embarrassing to me. Alright, ooh, how about a fresh cat I should save? Just because, like... that was, like, a long scene, and if I touch the chasm and die, I don't want to go through it again.
Better not get close. That looks deadly.
Guess I'll just elevate her. Also, good night, Echo.
There were no buttons in the elevator, but it took me here.
Well, obviously it's gonna have to take me back because I didn't open the lockbox.
A candelabra, filled to the brim with burning wax candles. A statue of a robed male figure with his right hand raised in a blessing gesture.
Oh god, are we doing Rosewater again?
A statue of a robed woman with her hands clasped in prayer.
Hey, I had a random thought this week. What is, and it's like completely fine if the answer is 0 or negative, but just like out of curiosity, what is the prevailing sense from chat? Would there be any interest in like revisiting Rosewater and trying to like further explore the system or alternate choices or something? Some weird part of me wondered. I've been a little fixated on Rosewater throughout the year, admittedly, but like, I still kind of wonder if I gave up too much on that game. If I was like justified in just kind of being tired of it. Papers, please.
Looks like a stack of newspaper articles. Shit.
Oh, cripes almighty. Oh, it wasn't instant. I thought it was just instant death. I thought it was just going to be a series of instant death traps that you wouldn't have any plausible way to determine. Hey, I think it's supposed to be the mausoleum tomb from the first game.
What's this around my neck?
Not great.
Yeah, it tightens when I try to remove it.
My god.
Kathy Rain, judgment awaits.
Ben Townsend? Is that you?
Benedict Townsend is with God. I was made in his image. Now, heed these words.
Mika hi, Mika heiny ho.
Enlightenment leads to mercy, ignorance to doom.
Aye.
You may approach the first altar.
Sounds solid.
State the sacrificial pattern.
Ah, crap. The fourth victim was the burn victim, right?
I'll use this knife.
Benedict Townsend, I think, was the second victim? Hang on, I think...
Beep!
They gave me back my newspaper articles from Act 1. Did they? No, these are different and weird. Oh, don't make me read like a bunch of newspaper articles in the end, you idiot. Can Vasco grow a beard like that? Probably not. I've never like truly tried to grow out a beard, but like if I don't shave for a while, it peters out at like scruff level.
Beep.
Thought this was the library in hell, but the actual library on Earth is also the library in hell. So Rose Taylor was probably the first one, right? And he stabbed all the ladies to death. So the first one I'm pretty sure is stabbing. I think that the priest was second and he was hanging, and that would make Eric third as fall.
State the sacrificial pattern. You have failed.
I think the burn was fourth and the stab was definitely first, so maybe I just confused the middle two?
You have passed.
Okay.
Babe?
What a weird
What are the
contrivance.
vocations of the sacrificed souls?
The first was the nurse, the fifth was the writer, the fourth was the student. If we're saying that he was third, tree is last, and then envelope is second. What the heck was the profession of that guy?
You have succeeded. State the sequence of the sacraments in the ritual.
Sacraments in the ritual. Do I know the sequence? That's probably in the newspaper articles, huh? Imagine taking like 2 weeks off for life. So like here's something that's like mildly annoying to me, right? Like the fact that I got like the newspaper articles, I'm like, oh, okay, so they want to make this accessible so that if you like understand the nature of the questions, that like, oh, I'm trying to figure out like the order of the, and like to be clear, I just like exchanged 2 of them because like they're the characters that the game has elaborated on the least are Eric and the Deacon. Like most of what we know about Eric is like his personal life. And like the Deacon is basically Sir not appearing in this game until he becomes like a haunted hanging corpse. So like I was like most of the way towards getting that first one on the first try. I just like, you know, confused 2 of them because the game has not delineated them in a super strong, clear way. Second one I got in one shot. The third thing, I don't genuinely think the game has broached the subject of the order of the sacraments or whatever. But Demolition says, imagine taking like 2 weeks off for life things. It's like, yeah, I mean, so I thought that the newspaper articles were like the ones we had before to like make it like, oh, sure, you just like, you know what it's asking for and you just do it. But like, nah, nope. Nuh-uh. Ministry reporter has a suicide. The death of Eric Holloway has been officially reclassified as a homicide. The victim was pushed off the roof of the building. Last thing he saw was the great eye gazing onto the depths of his tormented soul. Apparently he was a mailman, which tracks. Don't remember that. Sources told us there are links to the brutal stabbing. Reluctant to share the details. Deacon Townsend was found dead early on April 4th. Cause was hanging. Turns out treacherous faiths set up a meeting. While diligently completing each phase of the ritual, she staged the murder to look like a suicide. Yeah, my operating assumption is the same anime, that like the Great Eye is the second one. All the Soothsayer killings to date, including them, were solicited by Mr. Burgundy, aka Isaac Price. Wait, was at any point in the timeline we live in, was I supposed to understand that Mr. Burgundy was Isaac Price? I feel like this is literally the first time in the whole game that's like referenced directly at all. Like, the only other mention of Isaac Price was that, like, Evil Kathy Rain chose to kill a priest because Isaac Price killed himself and was a priest, but he was, like, already a bad guy. Their whole handling of the, like, Mr. Burgundy, Mr. Crimson thing is, like, such a hot mess, in my opinion. Not even death seems to put a stop to this villain. This one is doesn't feel like it's giving me like a super clear. Blood everywhere. This was not for food, but another sustenance. Volcanic glass. So he looks at the world through curved glass. So it's like obsidian. I don't know what I'm getting from this. And then Sootsayer cranked up heat on her killing spree. College student was burned alive, blissfully unaware of the danger when agreeing to meet up with the perpetrator. And intoxicated by pyre. So that's after and possibly after something else. Maybe the details aren't in every single article because there's like 6 victims. It's a lot of reading for so late in the game. It sure is, and it was too much reading at the start of the game. I genuinely think that this game does not understand that, like, reading isn't, like, a good game mechanic. Reading is a great world-building tool, and it's a great way to add depth to a story that already works, but reading is not a great driving narrative tool, and it tends to be a bad game mechanic. Only Deborah Sinclair. Circumstances are strikingly similar to the original casualty of the Soothsayer. Stabbed to death, open-minded when it came to drugs, but the murderer knew she would never willingly try pyre. He put it in the tea. When it came to the mirror, she was all too accommodating, curious to the end, even though she saw the eye of the old god before her. Okay, so this is the last one, because, right, there wouldn't be a write-up on the lady who just died. Jakey says, I would have quit if I had to read this at the beginning. Oh, Jakey. We literally... Does anyone... It was like an hour and like 15 minutes, or was it more than that? Like, there was a huge portion of the first stream that was like just reading newspaper articles and like doing like research on a fake library terminal to like find more newspaper articles to read. It was like horrendously, criminally slow to start a game. It was like, it genuinely offended me a little bit. So, glass first. Then the eye. I don't really know what the skull represents as part of the ritual. You almost put down the game. I mean, it was a serious consideration. Like, you all know I have, like, a weirdly high tolerance for making myself suffer, and I also am stubborn about not finishing a narrative thing that I start, unless the actual gameplay is horrendous. But, like, if the game had just been all reading, like, it would have been bad. Like, we'll talk more about my feelings on this game when we get to the end of it. So, like, I don't know if, like, I don't know what skull is supposed to represent in the alleged, like, order of sacraments for the ritual. Like, it's extremely vague when, like, the ritual involves killing. Does skull indicate that it's the last thing just by nature of death being part of it? Like, death being the goal? Like, it sounds like the articles want mirror first, then eye. But then, like, it's unclear what skull means. But the third article says something like, not even death put a stop to this villain. And then the fourth one deals with the drug. Then I'll look at the fifth one. It seems like maybe it's referencing all of them. Maybe that's the key. Stabbed to death in her home. Open-minded when it came to drugs, but her murderer knew she would never willingly try pirate. It was child's play for him to slip some in her tea. Stuck to the same routine. When it came to the mirror, she was all too accommodating. Even as she saw the eye of the old god before her. So, okay, this is another, like, annoying thing, right? Because, like, we'll get 3 out of 4 and you can fill the last one easily. But the problem is it's all relative. Because we're trying... The thing we don't know is the order. So, like, we basically can only solve, like, 2 or 4. Like, if I knew the precise location of 3 of them, then yes, trivially I can do the last one. But the way the clues are laid out in the first 4 articles is deliberately vague. Again, because skull isn't a clear component of the ritual. I don't know what that means specifically. It could just mean death. It could mean I don't know what. Because, again, it is my feeling that the game hasn't actually laid bare what the ritual is after all of this research and investigation. Like, this is the first time that we're really faced with the question of, like, what happened at the crime scenes. But then there's the secondary issue that, like, there's one interpretation where you look at each one of these and they seem like they're emphasizing a particular one of the 4. So one conclusion that you could draw is that you put them in the order of the first 4 articles. Like, the first one mentions the black volcanic glass, the second one mentions the great eye, and so on and so on. But if you look at the 4th one, it seems to be suggesting something different. If you look at the 4th one, it says, Deborah was open-minded when it came to drugs, but would never willingly try pyre. So it was basically drugged into her tea, suggesting pyre first. Then, the next thing is when it came to the mirror, she was accommodating. So then, obsidian mirror. And then she saw, curious to the end, even as she saw the eye of the old god. And I want to be clear about this because it doesn't actually use sequencing words. It just lists them in a certain order. So it lists the pyre, then it lists the mirror, then it lists the old god. And then, again, it mentions just sort of death, and I think we could assume death is last. But drug first is in stark contrast to what the other order would be. Are the newspapers in chronological order? They should be, because they're talking about the like alternate murder scenes in the order that they were killed. But just to be clear, Friday, May 29th, May 20... Yeah. Now they all just have, like, today's in-game date, I'm pretty sure is what's going on. But like I think they should be in sequence order because we're talking about, okay, now hang on. February 7th, March 12th, April 4th. Yeah, like they're in the correct order. It's just that the game is presenting two contradictory thought processes. Now, what I'm going to do is go by the last article because it feels like it has more internal logic. But I know that by making a decision in either way, the game will first punish me and second treat me like an idiot. So I'm going to go drugs, mirror, eye, skull.
Rejoice in your righteousness, Kathy Rain.
You could argue I overthought that, but if the game wanted that to be clear, I don't think they did a good job. And also shouldn't expect you to read 5 newspaper articles to find that only one of them matters.
You have seen our plight and grasped the breadth of our sacrifice. Go with God's blessing.
I still gotta...
Looks like I can release the ropes here.
Does it? Does it look like that? It doesn't look like that to me. You doing anything later?
Is that mercy? I am unconstricted.
What happened to you, Ben?
The Dark One tricked me. Put a taint in my drink.
You don't want to drink the taint.
Dulled my senses. Made me obedient. I failed to see the devil in her eyes until the noose was chafing on my skin. But her betrayal was only the fleeting conclusion of a life filled with pain and loss.
Is this game gonna keep trying to make me feel bad for like the psychopathic murderers? Because like they're gonna have to try like way harder than they're doing if they want to accomplish that.
A childhood forever tainted by abuse, neglect, and utter abandonment. Alas, the sorrow in this heart granted no respite until its final mournful beat.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
You are blameless, Minda, but be aware that the malleable is far from done with you. The only way to emerge victorious is by defeating the true enemy, the one who assumed and grasped beyond his station.
This guy's just supposed to be like a convenient facade for an obstacle, right? Like, why does he actually have Ben Townsend's personality? I'm a little confused about that. We're sure this is the real Kathy? Yeah, I don't think that there is enough ambiguity in play to think that they're trying to swap us. I mean, one has burn scars from where Kathy Rain, like, burned her hellhole in the first game. Like, it's not particularly ambiguous. We're not actually like mirror copies at this point. Also, like, only the one who changed her hair and has burn scars was cooperating with the just actual psycho murderer.
Who are you talking about?
Sadly, I'm not allowed to say. This wretched shell cannot defy its creator, as certain boundaries are out of my reach. But take this before I depart for the void.
Is it Link's sword? Bye, Ben. What a lovely guy. Well, I know what to do with that.
There's nothing more for me to do on this floor.
Oh, tedious walking. Oh, look, it's Gollum in the floor.
Sarah.
No, I'm not.
That's what Eric looks like?
Sarah, I'll get you out.
That's not what we're doing, Eric. Sarah says she's okay. She's in chat right now.
Something made him stop here. It seems this area is safe.
I think I get it. I don't think I can do this. I think I have to take another shot at this. Yeah, apparently I have to move, like, pretty quick, which is annoying. Like, there's not much margin for error. Please, like, immediately start reacting as a result of this. And now I reconstruct...
There's only a single word on the stone. Sarah, there's also a round indentation where something could fit.
Yeah, there's like not a lot of inventory items. I sort of get it. I get it. Oh, I reconstructed it. We did. It's like one of the most obvious ways to incorporate a puzzle in the game, and we just didn't. What a curious choice.
Assembled from the shards I found on the floor in this room. It barely holds together through some strange, unseen force.
What a lazy way to... Whatever, it's fine. There's this... I think he thinks I'm stuck in the computer. Well, I'm just gonna put this urn here. It'll be fine. I think he really likes pottery or something. I don't know.
The shards fuse together, repairing the urn.
What's that familiar, warm light? Bring the vessel, please.
Here you go.
I remember now. Sarah was the beginning, not the end.
What happened, Eric?
I spiraled. And then that scarred harpy found me.
I think that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Scarred harpy sounds like a thing.
Oh, how well they fit in the holes my rotting love left behind. Pyre was the worst of them. It drilled through skin, flesh, and bone. Cut so deep it started to scratch the soul. And now, that broken spirit fuels the malleable.
Everyone keeps using that word.
I need your help, Eric. How do I leave this place?
Oh, here's a key.
If I knew I wouldn't be here. I can feel the pain in every inch of this wretched body.
Okay, again, that might be significant in 1998, but here in 2025, that is Tuesday.
Blissful oblivion. And I'll crawl back into the womb of the machine.
Again, no one called it the machine, but now we're all calling it the machine. The terminology is weird. Okay, bye. Love you, Eric. Is the urn a key?
The urn is whole. I should put it back where it belongs.
Okay, sure. I guess I might as well do that. And now there's a key in it?
Huh. I can suddenly hear something rattling inside.
Yeah, it's a key. It's not that hard. Kathy Wright, you are a private investigator.
There was another key in the urn. I'll grab that before I put it back. I guess it's time to move on. I think I'm done on this floor.
It's a great sign when the protagonist of the adventure game herself is like, I don't know, I guess we did it? I don't know. The goals are unclear? I don't know what we're doing.
The stairs are completely blocked. I can't get through. Boarded up.
These hotspots, just to distract you?
Static again. I keep waiting for something to appear in the frame.
Guess I'll just go. I don't know, man. Womb of the Machine is my industrial emo punk album. I think it's already like Sephiroth's like album, isn't it? Don't love the look of this place. This looks like a game of fiery whack-a-mole that I'm not digging.
Andrea?
You did this to me.
Nah, you very much did this to yourself.
That was Faith. I'm not her.
I need you to feel what I feel.
Nah, I'm good.
I need you to burn.
Nah, I don't want to do that. Incinerate means to burn. Wow, she's really slow, huh? Okay. Nah, I hesitated too much. I couldn't decide if I was supposed to juke her more. Yeah, this seems like this is going to be really thankless and irritating, so get ready for that. Ring around the rosy, idiot. There's literally sprinklers on, like, directly above her. Like, what do you actually want me to do, man?
She's even stronger than my mom.
Like, she moves quick enough that, like, I legitimately don't understand, like, what the thought process is here. Oh, my bad. Apparently, like, the creature of fire hates hot steam? Hello? That's a dumb idiot mechanic for morons. That feels very much just like trial and error. Are you kidding? Are you joking me? This is so stupid. This is such a dumb... This is so moronic. Like, I had clearly, like, solved the puzzle and they're like, nah, we found some random technicality and just decided that, like, nah. Oh, good, and the steam can just, like, go away, I guess. This sucks. There is nothing clever or even puzzle-like about this. It's like RNG trial and error. It's like so stupid. Also, like, having like 2 of the 3 sprinklers on feels like it should at least slow her down, right? So now I like have to wait until I can lure her into a steam vent? And now, like, she's... What is happening? The game just, like, started randomly having Kathy move where I wasn't clicking, and then, like, somehow I didn't die. Like, she moves so fast for this to be... Like, it's just... This is so annoying. Like, I have no control over where the steam comes up, so I can't, like... strategize. Okay, I tried enough times. I did it? Like, what a satisfying conclusion.
The pain subsides. For a time. Hurry, before the malevolence returns.
Nah, see, now you piss me off. I want to do bad stuff to you. I'm the villain now.
Andrea, I'm sorry for what happened to you.
I'm not.
Don't
Good riddance.
be. The burned girl is dead and at peace.
Okay, listen, I know this sounds insensitive, and maybe it is, but, like... For one, she did just try to kill me, and yeah, whatever. She's been influenced by the evil force. I'm just putting it out there that she did just try to kill me, like, multiple times. 2, she, like, willingly and knowingly associated with the people who were doing, like, bad crime stuff. This, again, is the consequence of her actions. Like, she is not an innocent victim, like... Yeah, like, being burned to death is, like, not a great way to die. No Way to Die sounds, like, especially super great, but, like, she is, like, literally an accessory to, like, the murders and stuff. So, like, I genuinely don't feel that bad for her. I feel bad for the Deacon. He got super duped. I feel bad for Eric because, like, they, like, preyed on his, like, weakness and insecurity after having a tremendous loss that's difficult to cope with. This lady was just prideful and did evil stuff and then got dead for it. I don't feel bad for her.
So you're not her?
No. I am a tulpa. A thought form.
Stop trying to make tulpa happen. Stop trying to, like, introduce jargon, like, 15 minutes from the end of the game.
What does that mean?
That I am a sentient construct based on Andrea Hall. An animated piece of the malleable.
If that's true, how come the other 2 both, like, actually sounded like they were experiencing the personal suffering of their avatars or whatever?
Why were you created, then?
Because of my significance to you. Or rather, your twin. The one who calls herself Faith Cyrene.
Demolition asks, and why are you telling us this? Yeah, I mean, that's what I was, like, asking about Ben, right? Like, I don't understand why they're, like, telling us, like, useful information. Like, it's really unclear how or why any of this works. And they're just, like, jamming it in at the end. Like, it wasn't handled amazingly in Kathy Rain 1, but, like, I felt like the pace and the flow of, like, the puzzle solving sort of did some sleight of hand to, like, mitigate that. This game is not pulling that off.
So Faith's presence here created you?
Yes. I was the victim of her greatest betrayal. And the fiery Punisher is my role to play.
Serious question to chat. Is the monologuing doing anything for you? Like, I feel like the investigation was the time to, like, learn this stuff. Now we're in, like, the climax. I don't want to be reading newspaper articles or having people mansplain tulpas to me.
You seem more coherent than the other constructs I've encountered in the Malleable.
I was made in the burned girl's image, and she had the most brilliant mind. She just had one fatal flaw.
That she was a dumb idiot? This feels arbitrary that, like, she was a smart girl, so I talk good.
And what was that?
Love. That old cliche.
What?
She was in love with Faith Cyrene?
Oh, wow. What an irritating salt to add to the wound that is the final act of this game.
Tragic, isn't it? Even now, knowing all the suffering, I can feel a deep longing to be close to her, even if it would mean to be consumed by her flames again and again and again.
Okay, but, like, again, what's, like, the practical purpose of making a Topa have all of the personal flaws of an Earth human? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's all just monologuing. Did the end really need this strong of a supernatural element? I mean, to me, it's more like pick a lane, right? Like, we took such a long time to get back into the supernatural element of this game. Like, the first game had supernatural elements. It was kind of a slow burn, but it, like, worked up to it with, like, overtones of the cult until finally it was culminated in a supernatural, like, you know, climax and conflict. And that, I felt, worked relatively well. But then, like, it's so confusing to me that this game, like, after all those events of the previous one, we're just like, I just assume it's like a normal serial killer, even though there are these things that seem like it links us to what happened in the first game. And then, like, 6 days into the investigation, she's like, wait a minute, are there ties to what we did in the first game? I am so smart. And, like, now we're just doing this stuff, and it's like, just, like, incorporate it, like, into the, like, make it part of, like, the investigation is so slow and pointless. Like, put the cool stuff in there. Don't, like, info dump me at, like, the 11th hour. It's just
horrible. None of you had to die. If I hadn't unleashed Faith all those years ago, none of this would have happened.
Ow. This is such a hot take that I think it would create a new type of burning beyond what Andrea Hall experienced. Like, what an incendiary inferno take. I mean, as Demolition says, one, how could you know? Because for all the indicators were that by, like, collapsing the Malleable last time, the problem was solved. But also, like, what's the alternative? Like, let the old god have taken over before? Let the priest Isaac Price, like, kidnap and torture and kill Eileen? Like, what's the alternative?
Those are dangerous thoughts in the Malleable. Strength of spirit is the only commodity here, and doubt means death.
Help me then. What am I really up against, and how do I fight it?
All I can say is, Mr. Burgundy and Faith Cyrene are both deluded, ascribing their own selfish motivations to the old god.
I don't know that that's particularly useful. I feel like that was, like, kind of true in the first game, too.
They fail to see that they cannot understand the unfathomable, and that will be their undoing.
Okay, I love you, bye-bye.
What does that even mean? How can I leave this place?
Here's the key.
I'm sorry, but I cannot say, and I must leave soon. This existence is unbearable for me.
Okay, now, just, I know I sound like a broken record, but, like, in 1998, I'm sure that seems really remarkable, but that's what it's like here in 2025.
Please, not yet. I have so many questions. I'm not sure I can do this alone.
Anime says, God, the sprinklers ran out before she started trying to...
I have faith in you, Kathy Rain. Trust in your own truth, and I know that you will live to see another dawn.
Bye. Where's my key? Is it in the bin?
There's something in the fire pit.
I'm a way better private investigator than Kathy Rain, and it's literally her job.
There was another key inside.
Well, I know where the elevator's going. And she went to her home planet, never to be seen again. Very true, Demolition.
The elevator took me
Unless
back
she died
here.
on her way back to her home planet.
I guess I'm done on the other floors.
I kind of, like, there were moments in the, I guess we're calling it the Malleable now, in the first game that felt a little aimless, but, like, I'm not sure giving such an obvious structure to it is necessarily an improvement.
Way too long, and none of it sounds true at all.
It's a box with...
Like, it is kind of supposed to be mysterious and unknowable, right? Like... It'd be really funny if the last one didn't work. It's the gun, it's Lucas's gun box. I know how stories work, guys.
Lucas's revolver.
Yeah.
Only one bullet in it, though. Better make it count. Time to end this.
I can't save? Oh, it's technically a cutscene. I can't make a super complex reference, but if I only got one shot, then you know it's time for mom's spaghetti. If you know, you know. Yeah, Demolition objects to the extremely overt explanations of the horror concepts. And I think that's valid.
It wasn't...
I definitely don't...
supposed to go like
I definitely don't think we're adding anything to the game by, like, explaining the mysterious ominousness. Keep shooting. We only had one bullet. Also, I really expected that to be some kind of puzzle. It's like, figure out who to shoot or when or something. But, like... Literally, I got the bullet, she's like, better make it count, and like 5 seconds passed, and she just immediately shot evil Kathy Rain. I'm like, you're not wrong, I thought that was going to be more narratively interesting.
Oh, thank God you're here, Mr. B. Help me.
I'm sorry, is he like the relatable high school teacher character from a 90s sitcom, Mr. B?
I've done everything you asked for. I killed all those people for you. Just like you wanted.
I actually just wanted you to get some milk. You, like, wildly misunderstood my request. Like, yikes.
There, little thrall. It will soon be over. Alas, your time has come.
Another hook chain?
But you promised. You said I'd be the one. That the old god would... that he would make me Prime. That he'd make me the real one.
I mean, didn't Prime die in Transformers the movie? Like the first, like the animated one. I mean, if you become him, isn't that a problem?
Hush now. With the sacred power I carry within, I consecrate you, and I bless you. It is time, Kathy Rain.
I really kind of thought he was just gonna kick her.
Is yours.
You want me to do your dirty work for you? Take out your own trash, Isaac.
Like, this is making me insane. Did anyone in chat understand that Mr. Burgundy was supposed to be Isaac before they said that like 2 rooms ago? Was that like clear to anyone else? The whole Burgundy thing, I think we like really flubbed and fumbled hard. Like, that feels like that was supposed to be a really cool and interesting part of this game that, like, they absolutely screwed the reveal on and made, like, deeply confusing. So, like, I don't think that worked for me at all.
Everything she did was because of you. You were the one behind the murders.
Who is Isaac again? Fantastic question, because he basically wasn't mentioned in this game until, like, 5 rooms ago. Isaac was the priest who kidnapped Eileen in the last game. He, like, led the cults in the modern day after his father, like, started the cult, like, 20 years ago or something.
Of course, as was my duty. I am ever the old god's servant.
But he's still alive or whatever? No, he, like, killed himself at the end of the, like, at the very end of the last game. He was, like, in jail and he killed himself. And then, like, yada, 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 like, 4 screens ago, they were like, Isaac. And then, like, 2 screens ago, they're like, by the way, Isaac is Mr. Burgundy. And it just, like, it absolutely, like, didn't land for me, like, at all.
Every sacrifice made his voice clearer, his will more tangible.
Is this a ladder into a pool like in The Sims? Can I trick him into going into the pool and then, like, sell the ladder with a cheat code?
Soon, his dormant spirit will be ready to emerge from the confines of my flesh form.
Flesh friends? Flesh friends mentioned!
And his glory will be greater than ever before. Now, stop this bickering and fulfill your destiny. End her life and avenge your friend.
Nah, I'm good. I think I'm fine with her just, like, having an extremely bad time. This game's somehow Palpatine return moment. Yeah, a little bit. Like, okay. So, here's what I'll give you. In Devil's Advocate, since we're clearly in hell, Devil's Advocate, there was the freak in the sheets moment where in one of the nightmare sequences, Kathy Rain saw Mr. Burgundy, right? I don't think there was any indication at that time or at any point in the investigation that, like, Isaac's influence was involved. Like, in some ways, this feels like the same type of missed opportunity that Somnium Files 1 had, where, like, I think the thing that Somnium Files 1 needed to do to be a great game instead of a good idea and, like, an okay execution is they needed to drive home the point that, like, there were so many people implicated in this series of murders, it didn't make sense for it to be one person. But, like, more than that, it had to be, like, this evidence is conclusive that this serial killer murder is this person. But now this evidence is completely conclusive of a separate person. Like, that makes the case interesting, because then you're like, I don't understand. The evidence clearly points to, like, 5 different people being the serial killer at once. What the heck does that mean? How does that work? And, like, instead, like, the investigation feels really amorphous until someone just explains to us how that can work. And, like, it's a cool idea, but, like, it doesn't build to a satisfying conclusion because it kind of just sort of like, I don't know, I'm just going to keep haphazardly following leads. What this game, I think, needed to do is have these ominous overtones that Isaac, this person that we had, like, disdain for, who, like, threatened the life of our friend, who created this cult that, like, ruined our town and trapped our grandfather's soul and almost got us, like, sealed in a hellmouth, was somehow Palpatine returned. If we had a sense the entire time that Isaac was behind this and we didn't understand why, then when it's revealed that, like, he took over the mantle of, like, the evil color suit guy, then it has, like, meaning. But, like, for just, like, ominous stuff to happen and then, like, a guy to show up who's not imminently recognizable as Isaac and doesn't have his motivations or anything, and then someone's like, by the way, that's Isaac. Okay, I'm gonna get carried off by a chain now. Like, that's nothing. That isn't anything. That's not dramatically interesting. That's basically a Deus Ex Machina, even though the Deus is being wheeled out instead of craned in. Oh, wait, no, hang on. The game has managed to confuse me even more yet again. I shot my doppelganger to death, but I didn't use the one bullet. What bullet did I shoot to kill her? Explain? Someone explain? Bueller? The gun had one shot, and you also have yours. That's a reasonable argument, but you do at least understand why that's confusing, right? Because we literally already had one bullet. I think it's a really natural conclusion to A, assume that the one shot we have is the one bullet that was established, and B, assume that if we damaged our, like, weird malleable doppelganger, we used the magic or whatever.
I loaded the bullet in the empty chamber.
Well, it's like a revolver, right? So it has multiple empty chambers? Ideally, you would have loaded it into the chamber that would fire.
No. I'm not gonna do what you want. You feed on the misery of others.
Wait, didn't he want me to kill Kathy? Why do I not want to kill him?
I know who the true enemy is.
You fool. Nothing from the malleable can harm me.
Oh, okay. That was just framed weirdly. She is going to shoot him. She is resisting killing evil Kathy.
Oh, I don't doubt that. It just so happens I brought a little present with me.
Hey, maybe less talky, more shooty? Use the element of surprise for once?
That insolent betrayer slipped you something, didn't he?
This man should already be dead. This is ridiculous.
Goodbye, Isaac.
Neat?
The limb of man met his end.
Is the limb of man supposed to be like an opposition to Lamb of God or something?
A twisted, wrung out malice, run amok. The parasitic shades of the pulpiteers, progenitor, progeny, have played out their parts. I grieve your present lack of voice. But in places like this, the air is not really air.
This like weird demon alien creature having a southern drawl is a weird choice.
Flames. This has been a discordant threshold dwelling.
You should like try clearing your throat, buddy.
Are out of tune. Everyone suffers.
Oh, this is how auto-tune got invented.
Consecutive translation errors.
Are we running debug mode?
Distorted directives, clad in fervor and fallacy. I come from a soul of rigid static on an endless black plane.
Neat.
A realm of nothing but cold and profound loneliness.
Yeah, dude, I live in 2025.
Curiosity
Big deal.
Summoned me here, but it is time for me to depart.
Don't tell me he's just gonna fly away.
A sense of obligation for your utilization. Travel liquid.
Come on. What the?
I hold your hue in great esteem, for the red is strong in you. You may proceed.
can't believe I'm still breathing.
Yeah, my interpretation is that is the old god community, because, like, the first game, and to a lesser extent this game, implied that the Great Eye has spoken to the people, the color individuals, Crimson and Burgundy, through, like, static and, like, weird symbols and stuff, and that's, like, the miscommunication. And I think this was the god themselves communicating with us. Although, I'm not... know if I love us, like, having a chat with the old god, or what. It's a choice.
I gotta hurry. This whole place is about to come down.
Okay, I don't have my inventory. My literal first instinct was call Eileen and tell her to leave. But I don't seem to have my inventory to walkie-talkie her. Hello? Oh, okay. Hand wave that again, sure.
Did we win?
I think so.
Well, we thought we did last time.
The threshold has been sealed shut for good. We can hope.
Catherine.
Yes, Mom?
I'd like to go home now.
I don't think they'll let you, Mom.
That's not what I meant. Back to the facility.
That's probably for the best.
Well, that's convenient. Didn't want that a little while ago. Ah, sick. After all that, she injured her hand, angrily breaking the window of her own office.
Oh, hey.
So, you can probably tell what happened.
Yeah. I'm really sorry, Kathy.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
I realize
what happened to her cat? She's holding a cat carrier.
Is there something you want to ask me?
Will you marry me?
This is already humiliating enough, E.
Maybe. But I need you to ask me properly.
Come on, E.
Did you hear what I just said?
Eileen?
Yes?
Can I please stay with you for a while?
See, this is why we need a clarification.
Of course you can. You're my friend. And I love you.
And when we cohabitate, it will grow into something more. We will be roommates. I assume that's Lucas's grave, but for a second I really thought she was like at her
really
doppelganger's
nothing,
grave,
huh?
which would be so stupid.
All that evidence buried under tons of rubble. And the reward goes bye-bye. But hey, look on the bright side. At least the cops
you're
didn't pin
dead.
your murder on me.
How'd you get away with that?
Fan-fucking-tastic, eh?
Miss Rain?
Let me
Is this an
guess.
estate lawyer?
The debt collector? You must be here for my organs.
Not quite. Bill Davenport, Esquire.
Estate lawyer.
I'm the executor of Mr. Longhorn's estate.
I've
Good
seen a
for you,
movie
buddy.
before.
I guess you'll be
Idiot.
spending plenty of time with Lucas's sons, huh?
You idiot.
Enjoy hanging out with those juvenile assholes.
You idiot.
I would, if that was part of my mandate. However, the wishes stated in Mr. Longhorn's will were different.
His family will not be pleased.
No, he fucking didn't.
I think we can take care of that medical debt for you. And more.
Thank you, Lucas.
Day 7. A Fate Serene. Achievement for finishing the game. That's pretty explicit, surprisingly so. I wonder if there will be post-credits. Oh, you can skip individual credits, huh? I'm gonna blast through them too quickly, but I am curious if we have more ending. Trenton Butt? It's like a real person? My name is a butt. Yeah, there's a voice credit for the old god, so I'm pretty sure Weird Head Big Hands was supposed to be the old god himself. Yeah, we never really learned JK's name, huh? That's funny. This track does feel pretty 90s, I'm gonna give you that. Now, I know that Raw Fury is like the developer, but it's still kind of funny to credit a bunch of people with Raw Fury. These people were so mad about this game! So pissed off! So pissed. Oh no, Demolition says, I had a caramel apple that my grandma got me today. Apparently she was holding onto it for a while. Under the layer of caramel and white chocolate was a green small apple, but brown mush at the center. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry for your loss. Joseph Hex Mode Silipo. Vroom. Okay, I was admittedly expecting perhaps a little more than that. But fair enough, I guess. Any, like, secret bonus nonsense? I didn't remember there being... I guess you can turn off the rotating coin, which I think would have made Cotillion happy, to be honest. So, Kathy Rain 2, huh? That is a video game. It's interesting. The thing that I think is most interesting about Kathy Rain 2, and in fact also about Kathy Rain 1, is that to me they almost represent the ends of a spectrum that I feel like I've only really become aware of in like this calendar year, in like the last few months, of like, I do a lot of critiquing games, and it's a lot of armchair quarterback. I feel a little more entitled to like be critical of narratives because like I've technically, arguably studied how to construct them and whatnot. But like, I think it is definitely possible for a game to be bad in some technical sense, but be a good end product by playing to its strengths. It doesn't necessarily make it a perfect game or anything close to that. But I think that Kathy Rain 1 did a really good job of playing to its strengths. Its strengths were not puzzles, so it didn't lean extremely heavily on the puzzles. The puzzles frequently required logical leaps or nonsense, and the same is true in the second game. However, in the second game, I feel like we find ourselves leaning a lot more on those. And then in addition to those, we spend a lot of time with these like real world research type tasks that really drag down the pace of the game. I felt that the pace of the first game wasn't perfect, but it kept things moving at a steady enough pace for the runtime of that game that you we're able to ignore some of the flaws in the puzzle solving and even in like some of the storytelling and the sequencing. But like the scope of the first game's mystery was small enough that I think it was easier not to get like bogged down in the minutia of them like not necessarily connecting the dots super cleanly. But like there's sort of a compounding problem moving into Kathy Rain 2. That Kathy Rain 2 makes the decision to try and resolve things that were deliberately left unresolved in the first game. And then on top of that, to take a really slow, meandering approach through the mystery that doesn't feel organic, doesn't feel dynamic, and doesn't feel exciting or like engaging. So like, yes, I do think that the worst of those problems come on day one of Kathy Rain 2. Where you're doing all that research, you're doing all that reading, it's super tedious, you're like reading all this information, it's very like tell and not show. And like that part of the game does improve over time, but like it's not resolved, it's just improved, right? Like there are very few, if any, times where I really feel like dialed in and like engaged by the nature of the investigation. The investigation largely feels like a means to an end. They want to establish a certain number of victims of the Soothsayer and try to give them this mystical, ritualistic significance to like tie into these puzzles, and then give you enough background on the characters so that like the tulpas of these characters can monologue about their like spiritual significance to the overall plot, yada yada. And like on some level I respect the commitment to that being a focus of the narrative, but at the same time I think that we can and should have doled that out more gradually. Basically, like, anything that was good about this game was really slow to be offered to the player and then rushed through. Like, I feel like most of the interesting things happen in the last 3 days, and a lot of the cool concepts that happen in the finale are rushed through. But, like, I think even in the structure they set up for this game, there was plenty of opportunity to, like, focus the investigation, like, largely on, like, one victim on day one. And then, like, once you learn, like, a little bit about that victim, then the vision you have overnight is about that victim. And so you get, like, a connection to that victim in particular. But, like, it doesn't feel like a random spooky vision that's just happening because you're investigating all these killings. It feels like it's connected to the investigation you're doing. And then, you know, you follow that through, and then, like, by the time you get to, like, the tulpas in the underworld, then, you know, you feel like you have a connection to these characters, that they're not just, like, a statistic and, like, a name in a case file. But, like, I also stand by the fact that, like, there was a cool idea behind incorporating Isaac as Mr. Burgundy, but, like, man, I think one of the worst things this game does is the way they try to incorporate and reveal Mr. Burgundy as being Isaac Price. Like, that is genuinely an interesting idea that I literally didn't comprehend was their intention until multiple scenes after the alleged reveal. Like, I can't remember the last time a reveal had been, like, so lost on me. And I like studied narrative, I watched tons of movies, I play narrative video games, like, I'm pretty media literate. I don't think that was, like, me in particular being really stupid, but, like, legitimately the game apparently thought it told me that, like, Isaac Price was Mr. Burgundy, and then multiple scenes pass, and then the game, like, actually tells me that's true. I'm like, what? Anime suggests they could have made it so each day was a new body instead of making most of them happen off screen. Yeah, I think I may even have said that earlier. And I definitely like alluded to that earlier in the stream, that like there's definitely some lack of sense of urgency to the investigation at large because there's no proper deadline. Like, I think the intention was that like us losing our office and our home is the ticking clock, the driving force, but like, I don't know, in some ways that feels like so mundane and so day to day, and honestly like a thing that like so many of us like struggle with, that like that's just like the status quo. The thing that makes the case seem urgent, I feel like, is the fact that people are dying. And like, again, I think you could hype up, even if you didn't necessarily want to make more of them happen like in the course of the narrative, which I genuinely do think would make the game like a lot more exciting. It's not necessarily more realistic, but I think it's much more interesting. And I do think that there is a clash with those ideas in Kathy Rain 2, where it felt like the first day, the really achingly slow pace and like the library research and like finding newspaper articles with like background on people who were already killed, it felt like the idea was to take a really realistic approach. And like, joke's on me, on the last day, we're shooting our doppelganger made flesh and then like using a ritualistic bullet to kill the reincarnated evil spirit of a priest who committed suicide previously. Like, the first game had this occult stuff. It felt weird from the beginning to make it try to seem so grounded. And like, with hindsight of knowing where they were going in the end, it makes like way less sense even than it did in the beginning of this game. But like, yeah, like I do agree that like, it makes for a better video game to have a victim every night. And I've seen adventure games do that. Like Five Nights a Stranger does that. The sequels to that, whose names I don't remember off the top of my head. Even like I think the Gabriel Knight, at least the first Gabriel Knight game, I think does that. Sins of the Father, I think, has like something like that going on. Like ritualistic killings that sort of happen on a night-by-night basis. But like, yeah, I don't know. To me, the most interesting thing to note about Kathy Rain's 1 and 2 are that, like, I genuinely think of Kathy Rain 1 as a success. It's not a particularly strong adventure game, but it has good voice acting and good character dynamics and just good, well-written characters, generally speaking. I mean, some of the supporting cast aren't as remarkable, but generally speaking, I think it uses its resources well. It tells the story it's trying to tell in that time frame. It hits the beats it wants to hit. It doesn't spend too much time on anything. The things that it leaves ambiguous add like mystery and depth to the world. But like the second game, I think, is like exactly the opposite. They had more budget, they had success under their belt, and so they tried to expand out the scope of the game, but I'm not sure that we were particularly like thoughtful in how we would expand the game to a longer duration, or how we would dole out the relevant amount of story within that time frame, within that scope. I've definitely played worse games than Kathy Rain 2. I'm definitely disappointed by Kathy Rain 2, but I'm still glad that we played through it and didn't give up on it after Library Day, the Reckoning. So chat sounds tired, which is fair. There was a lot of mental anguish getting through some of the end of this game. I kind of thought we'd have another day of this. So I don't know, maybe we'll talk on the Discord and figure out what exactly we'll do with our weekend before Thanksgiving. I have a couple of games in mind that I think can get done before the end of the year, but I'm not sure it makes sense to start them before Thanksgiving. I don't know. I'll like do some light research without spoilers and whatnot. So yeah, Demolition suggests even like day 4 or 5, let her see 1 happen. Like, I was actually pretty excited on day 6 when we like finally were at one of the crime scenes, and then we kind of just again like rushed through things once like the plot was getting exciting. Okay, so we have some guesses. Neko had guessed behind Teddy Ursa. I don't think I got my mom's full guess. We have coughing. Sarah, I'm assuming you're guessing behind classic Winnie the Pooh. I was kind of covering Santa Hat Winnie the Pooh. Okay, Star Crab Lady. Okay. Any other guesses before we wrap up the stream? Also, Pink Lady Crab is my favorite Chapel Rowan song. Let me know yours in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Pink Lady Crab. Okay, if anyone has any other guesses, hit me up. I'll try to show them off. And then if anyone cares to guess the theme, I think you can. I'll say this before I do any reveals. Similar to what I said yesterday, but kind of the opposite. I think this one is not super hard. Yesterday I thought was quite tricky. This one I don't think so. Okay. Especially once we reveal some of these, I think it'll be apparent. So, start up here with coughing. Coughing is a favorite pal of mine. I love his super perpetual happy face. Not a Squirtle, but a blue Pokemon, our cheeky Glaceon friend. Sarah says, I'm gonna keep on guessing. It's the Pink Lady Crab. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, and then we had a guess of Pink Lady Crab with Star. A different blue friend. This is our manta ray friend Lux with her lovely cheeks. Cheery, rosy cheeks. Then down here we got silly old Winnie the Pooh, who does have a Squirtle companion. Much like Teddy Ursa. And in fact, this couple of bears over here also have a Squirtle, because as Devilition guessed, it is in fact a bear theme. I do feel like it was fairly obvious. I thought about leaning into putting more crabs out there and making it like a 50-50 guess of whether you thought it was like many leg friends or bears. But ultimately, as I started putting things together, I had like pink shelf and like purple shelf, and I was like, yeah, that's fun. I'll just make it sort of colors, but it's really probably bears, right? I just like coughing. I'm a big coughing fan. Demolition, have you ever seen the special evolution of coughing, the recent one, the Galarian wheezing? I'm a big fan. Like, original wheezing is intentionally very gross and upsetting, but the Galarian form, they give him a fanciful top hat which like spews his like poison gas out of it, and then he gets like whimsical facial hair made out of smoke. Yeah, the Industrial Baron. He's extremely good. They did just such a good job with him. I love him very much. Original wheezing, I could definitely leave. I'm very happy with coughing, but like special wheezing is very good. Notice there have been more bears than usual. Yeah, there aren't typically a lot of bears, so you know it is very conspicuous when there's bears. But I don't know. They don't all have to be hard. And also yesterday I thought was tricky, so bears seemed like a good compromise. That had been my plan. I do have some good bears though. Very partial to this one I got on vacation this year. He's got a very good smile. Have a Squishmallow octopus with a top hat. Oh, that's really good. That's very good. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed Kathy Rain 2. It definitely has its flaws. This has been a fun ride though. In terms of raw gameplay, definitely not my favorite adventure game, but this has been a lot of fun to stream. I still prefer Kathy Rain 1 by a pretty good margin, to be honest, and I'm not sure where I'd rank Kathy Rain 2 in the pantheon of many adventure games I've played, but it was definitely worth a try, and I hope you've enjoyed the experience. So thanks everyone for watching, thanks for being here, thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Until next I do, take care of yourselves and remember that you are clawsome.